Hey Soul Tribe.
What is your bully's karma? What is your bully's karma for bullying you? What is their karma? Very straightforward question. Before you are 4 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is from the Light Seers Tarot, and the associated object is this octopus. Pile 2 is from the Sci-fi Tarot, and the associated object is this Stingray. Pile 3 is from the Tarot Diar, and the associated object is this Snail. Pile 4 is from the Law of Attraction Tarot, and the associated object is this Dragonfly. Please choose the pile you feel most attracted to. You could choose the pile based on the object or creature that you feel most attracted to, or you could choose the pile based on the card backing before you. So choose which one you feel the most attracted to. I'd like to recommend that if you have 2 bullies or more, then you can assign a pile to each bully or group of bullies in order to get multiple readings out of this pick a card video. If you are still undecided as to which pile to choose, or you would like to choose additional piles, then let me go ahead and add the zodiac signs. You can choose a pile based on the zodiac sign of the bullies. Let me add those zodiac signs. I'll be right back. Pile 1 is associated with the sun or rising signs of Cancer, Aries, and Leo. Pile 2 is associated with the sun or rising signs of Virgo, Taurus, and Pisces. Pile 3 is associated with the sun or rising signs of Aquarius, Gemini, or Capricorn. Pile 4 is associated with the sun or rising signs of Sagittarius, Libra, or Scorpio. Feel free to pause the video if you have to. Take your time, make your choice or choices, and I will see you at your reading or readings. Welcome to reading pile 1. What is your bully's karma? Especially for bullying you, right? Okay, let's move your number over to the left. You have 1. You chose the octopus, or maybe you didn't. You may or may not have chosen Cancer, Aries, or Leo. Okay, so let's do a vibe check. Let's see here. So what I'm seeing, pile 1, this bully of yours, here's their energy, okay? I feel like this person, I feel like they might be cunning. I'm also getting that they may have used that cunning or intelligence in a very devious way against you. Also getting, pile 1, that this person, they're shapeshifters, so they know how to take on a certain form, like appear. For instance, they may have appeared very nice to you at one point, sweet as all can be, or something like this, and then afterwards they changed and became someone totally different. Maybe they were close to you in order to get information, or close to you in order to earn your trust, or maybe they were close to you before maybe they got offended about something. I don't know, but it's like they've got like a Jekyll and Hyde thing going on a little bit. I'm just getting like disguises or shape-shifting, almost like this bully of yours pretended to be one thing when really they were something else. Okay, I feel like this person, they picked on you. They may have held a grudge. They may have held a grudge against you. Maybe you didn't realize it. Maybe you did, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. But I feel like they were holding a grudge against you. Okay, and maybe you didn't do anything, but they still held a grudge against you for some reason. Maybe it was unfair. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was just, happenstance. Whatever happened, they took it to heart and we're holding a grudge against you. That's what I'm getting. This person may be a mother figure or be a mom type or parent. May. Just take it as it resonates and leave the rest for others. Or if they're not, then they're very protective over their domain or over the things that they cherish and hold dear. Okay? Like to a crazy levels. Okay? They may be a high ranking person. That's possible. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot card. How did this bully hurt you? I feel like this person, they may have tried to get in the way of your ascension. Perhaps you were ready to level up in some type of way, and you were trying to, move on to the next level of your being, or maybe even just as simple as graduating, and they like held you back or something. They had doubts about you. They wanted you to have doubts about yourself. They wanted you to not like yourself. They didn't want you to become fully actualized, and they try to sort of stymie this or get in the way of this. Okay, let's get more information. We have the Hierophant. So this could have to do with your education. This could have been maybe a teacher or professor. Also it could have been someone you were married to. That's possible. A spouse. Could have been someone at your church or someone at your job, someone you worked with. Could have been a boss who maybe kept you from progressing, right? They kept you from rising up the ranks. You can see the steps going up. But it's like they were mean-spirited and would keep you down. They gate-kept you out of ascension, right? They gate-kept you out of following your calling. It's like you knew you were destined to rise. Pile 1. You knew you were destined for it. But they got in your way. They definitely blocked you. And I'm sorry to say this, but they took joy in it. They took joy in keeping you back from where you were supposed to be going, okay? They were sadistic. Jesus. Okay, let's get more information. We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, I'm just getting like a stalemate. They wanted to keep you stuck. They kept you stuck. They were undecided about you. Yeah, they were undecided about you. They kept you stuck. And it was like a torture of sorts. They were torturing you by keeping you there. And I feel like they ignored you as well. They wanted to sort of blind you or confuse you about things. Keep you blind to the situation. Yeah, they bullied you by putting you out of their mind. Yeah, they bullied you they conflicted with you too. I feel like they conflicted with you. They opposed you. Interesting. Okay, let's get more information. And this could all have been intentional, a way to sort of roadblock you. We got the Six of Wands. Okay. They tried to stand in the way of your victory. Yeah. I feel like this person, they punished you. They were punishing you. They wanted to mess with your reputation or oppose you, even though you had some victories, even though other people thought you were good. Other people thought you were deserving to arise, to be a winner, They decided to oppose you anyway, okay? They opposed you anyway. Wow. They just wanted to be like a harpy. They were just like, they wanted to be the one that was like your nemesis or your Achilles, not Achilles heel, but like your arch nemesis or something. They were just like, they bothered you. They didn't want to leave you alone. They wanted to keep you confused, stuck, even though, and they maybe even wanted to prevent you from seeing that you are actually the best. You're actually amazing. You're actually a winner. You deserve those victories. They wanted to sort of blind you from this. That was their attempt. I don't know if they were successful. I think they failed because I think you're aware that they bullied you, but maybe you weren't aware of why. Because you had a good reputation and you looked good and you dressed well, or they envied the way you dressed for some strange reason. They saw that you were purely of higher caliber, okay? This wasn't something you had to fake. This came naturally to you. When it was time for you to rise, that was natural, that was proper, that was right. But they didn't want you to see this. It was kind of like a funny joke or something to them. I think this person may have been a sadist. Pile 1. I feel like they wanted to keep you in a state of servitude to them. And they wanted to keep you in a bind. I'm seeing the bind here with the Hierophant, especially with the negatively aspected with the Hierophant, but getting someone keeping you in a bind, keeping you stuck. Wow. Okay, I'm so sorry that you underwent this. pile 1. Let's take a look as to why, right? Okay, next we're getting the Chariot. So, yeah, they saw that you were ambitious. Yeah, they saw that you were ambitious. Pile 1. They saw that you were ambitious. They wanted to get in the way of your ambitions. They wanted to stymie it. They saw that you're destined for greater things, for a higher level, for ascension, and that you were very focused, driven, and they didn't want to they wanted to get in the way of that. It's possible they were competing with you too. They saw how disciplined you were, but they wanted you to lose that discipline. They wanted you to stop it. They wanted you to stop being like this. I feel like they had also had a strong sense of ambition. There's somewhere they were headed, and they didn't want you to get ahead while they were trying to get ahead. You get what I'm saying? It's like, they're one of these sick people who think, stymie your competition, and that's part of how you win, instead of just do your best. They go out of their way to stymie who they perceive to be competition, so it gives them an advantage. They didn't just focus on improving themselves. Maybe they did, but they also focused on trying to keep you down. We have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, this person wanted rapid growth for themselves, but they wanted obstacles and delays for you. They wanted to delay your growth. They wanted to delay your ascension. They wanted to frustrate you. In some of y'all's cases, they wanted to frustrate you. They wanted you to sort of lose interest and be like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't be trying. Maybe I should just give up this ambition. Wow, that is sick. 4 of Pentacles. They're stingy. They didn't want to share. They didn't want to share the success with you. They wanted to keep you limited. They didn't want maybe pay you more, or they didn't want to. They wanted to keep you stuck with them. They wanted to keep you stuck at a certain level because, hey, if you get to ascend and you get to do these greater and bigger things, maybe you'll leave them behind, right? Maybe you'll get too big for your britches and become very popular and wealthy, and then maybe you'll forget about them. Maybe you'll leave them behind. Maybe you'll start to, not associate with them anymore. That's possible. Yeah, exactly. I think this person felt like, they weren't destined to go as high as you were. Maybe they were ahead of you somehow, but they didn't want you to succeed them. They didn't want you to supersede them and, outrank them, because they felt like they were limited and they had reached the end of their limits about how far they could go. I'm getting, for example, like maybe an ex-husband who didn't want you to your career to go far because they reached the end of the rope on how much they could make in their career, and they didn't want you to secretly. They didn't want you to maybe become a nurse or something, because then you'd get that high-end six-figure, a high-end salary or a six-figure salary, and then that would make them feel like small fries, and they didn't want to deal with that. That's possible. Or it could be someone at work who was getting in your way and was willing to cheat and sabotage you, and bully you and try to frustrate you out of that position, so that maybe they would be considered for promotions and not you. They were trying to eliminate the competition. There's a lot of examples that could fit here. Wow, I'm sorry you had to deal with this, pile 1. Let's see, what else? Wow, for some of you, they were on a mission to turn others against you. They were willing to go as far as to ruin your reputation. I did say that earlier. Yeah. They wanted to ruin your reputation. They didn't want people to view you as good as you actually were. Okay. They wanted to kind of bring you down a few notches. You overpower them. You power over them. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You overpower them without you even knowing. You see, I think pile 1, you didn't realize how good you were. I think this person saw how you work, saw your work ethic, saw how you move, saw the progress you were making, saw how people were adulating you, adoring you, saying good things about you, and they were super threatened by this. So even if they were your superior in some type of way, or ahead of you in some type of way, they didn't want you getting ahead even more. So this bullying tactics was all being motivated by a sense of a competition with you, and them feeling threatened by you. And maybe you didn't even know it, but they were keenly aware of the fact that you are superior to them in some key ways, and it made them feel threatened. This is part of why they were bullying you. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at what their karma is. We have the Page of Cups. So I feel like this person, your bully or your bullies, It could be a group. It's possible. But specifically, it's a person, I think. It could be the main person that bullies you if it is a group. Okay, the main person in the group who does this. I feel like they have like a buddy or a friend or something like this. Someone who hangs out close to them, who's a friend of theirs. But this friend has stopped being close to them. And it has something to do with what happened with you. Okay, this is all the karma that they're getting specifically for bullying you, pile 1. Okay, so I feel like there's someone they used to be close to who used to be like, yeah, you and I, we're buddies. And this person's like, you know what, I'm gonna go. And I don't fully understand the dynamics yet, and we'll get more information as we go along as to exactly what's happening, why this person stopped being their friend. But I feel like maybe this person may have stopped being their friend because they realized that your bully is emotionally immature, insecure. They're disappointed in the way this person has acted, partly towards you also. It could be for other reasons as well. But I think that this person, they've lost a friend, or they've lost a friendship or relationship because someone has identified them as being emotionally immature and like being petty and just a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Okay, they feel like, when we'll get back together when pigs fly, because I feel like this person they're friends with is actually on a higher level than them. Someone who's more emotionally mature, has some depth to their character, and is like, I've seen what you're like, and I don't like you. I'm gonna keep my distance. I don't want to associate with people like you. This is how your bully's being treated. Okay, so they've lost friendships of some type, or a friendship that they really valued and that they're really disappointed to see exit out of their lives. Okay, next we're getting the 9 of Swords. Yeah, so this person is having some guilt over what they did to you. They are feeling guilty conscience. They're worried about the way they would bother you. They're worried, they're feeling guilty over the way they would be like a harpy over your situation. Okay, bothering you, stressing you out, keeping you entangled, keeping you down. You see, it takes an emotional toll for someone to be like this. Okay, it's not something you just do absent-mindedly. This is not an absent-minded bullying that they were doing towards you, Part 1. This was conscious. This was intentional. And because they invested this conscious energy on it, they now have the memories. They now have the emotional imprint of being this person, doing these things. And believe it or not, the perpetrator takes on a certain type of trauma from being mean to others. Okay, being mean to others is being mean to yourself. And even if they're cold to it or don't feel compassion for you at that time, at some point they will wake up to this, because especially if they grow, right? Or if they just realize that maybe there's a consequence that they're receiving because of it, and they'll start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm bad. I was being bad. I was a bad person there. I'm bad. I was being a bad person there. This was wrong, and I feel like total shit for it. Okay, so I feel like this person's having like a dark night of the soul, because they've lost a friendship they really cared for, and now it's like the roosters have come home or something. What is that? What is that saying? The chickens have come home to roost. The chickens have come home to roost, meaning a person's past or their negative actions or decisions have returned to cause problems or consequences in the present. So I feel that's the term that was popping into my head. The spirit wanted me to say out loud, chickens coming home to roost. And I feel like they're having to deal with it in the form or in the shape of a friend leaving them, a friend saying, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm gonna go this way now. And it may not have been so upfront. It may not have been like this friend told them, because you treated Pile 1 like this, I'll be leaving you. It could have just been just subtle. All of a sudden, this friend stopped hanging out with them, and your bully put 2 and 2 together that it had something to do with the way they treated you. The 8 of Swords, yeah. Scandal. Pile 1. So there's definitely been some type of fallout. There's definitely been some type of reputational stain from as far as a karmic fallout from bullying you, Pile 1. And if that's not the case, if people found out that your bully was bullying you, then I feel that it's been making them feel very self-conscious. This is the type of person, Power 1, who doesn't want people to know that they're doing bad things. Okay? It's bad. They're fine with doing it to you, but they don't want people to know that they're behaving like this. That would be bad for them, clearly. So I think that they're sensing, because this friend left, they're concerned maybe this friend is now going to go tell other people, since maybe this friend detects their bullshit, has left, maybe now others know, so they're feeling self-conscious, they're feeling paranoid, they're feeling entrapped in the prison that they made for themselves with their own past actions. Next, we're getting the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like part of their karma, Pile 1, is to watch you become opulent, is to watch you be the queen or the king that you are, okay? And what I'm getting from this is that you must be very skilled, talented, and blessed when it comes to being secure, being practically proficient, and I feel like you're excellent at creating things, excellent at like setting things up. For example, you might be the type that if someone gives you a room and a budget, and then gives someone else a room and a budget, maybe they give your bully a room and that same budget, then they say, just make this place nice, make it comfy, and I'll be back in 2 weeks. And then they come back and they take a look at your bully's room, and they'll be like, all right, okay, well, you got some things in here, that's good, but it's kind of like, because maybe it was a limited budget, maybe it was like $400. They went to IKEA and got like a $200 couch, and got some like basic things. Maybe they got some little flat pillows for the floor or something, because they didn't have enough to get chairs or whatever. And it's just kind of sparse, and I mean, they got like some basics in there, but it's like you could tell that they struggled a little bit because maybe there wasn't enough money or something. But then they go to your room, right? And they gave you the same amount, the $400 budget, and it was low, but it's like night and day. They open your room, they walk into your room, Pile 1, and it's like you've got nice couch, chairs, pretty colors, things on the wall, atmosphere, little things making noises and twinkling in the corner. It's just homey. It's like someone wants to take off their shoes and just sit and cuddle, and you go get them a mug, and everything's so nice and posh, and it's like, how did you manage this? And it's interesting because the way someone like you would manage something like this is by being smart. Maybe you have access to certain resources when it comes to how you think. Maybe you're good at finding, good deals. You go to used shops. You know about where to go to find really good deals. You know where to go to get things for free. You have creative ideas on how to make a place look like it's popping. You maybe got some paint and some stuff. You painted up some things real quick, put them on the wall. You just are a fountain of creativity. Pile 2, when it comes to making things seem posh, making things seem wonderful, making things seem comfortable, and not just seem, but actually be comfortable. You're very creative and you're very practical in nature, and you make that dollar go far. You're gifted, Pile 1. And I feel like part of their karma is to watch you excel in this regard, okay? Is to watch you glow in this regard. Okay, it's to watch you rise, regardless of how they try to gatekeep and keep you out, right? You're rising anyway, Pile 1. Whether it's in their realm or someone else's realm, they feel, or some other realm, they feel like their hands are tied, Pile 1. Like there's nothing they tried to keep you down, but at the end of the day, there is nothing they can do to keep you from rising high, okay? Still you rise, okay? And there's nothing they can do about it. You're glowing, you're posh, your status is ascending, and there is nothing they can do about it. You're opulent, even you have lots of money, you're getting paid, you're getting profit. Wow. And this is their karma, and it makes them feel very self-conscious. Okay, so let's move on. We have anxiety. Exactly. So we did get some anxiety earlier. They're having a lot of anxiety over this situation with this person, I think. these friendships that have left their lives. Maybe it was you who moved on from them. That's possible. You stopped associating with them, talking to them, and they're like, oh, and they're realizing, oh my gosh, maybe you figured them out. Maybe this was a friend of yours and you figured them out and you distance yourself from them. And the whole time they think you didn't know. They think that maybe you thought that they were doing everything they could for you, when in reality they were keeping you out. They were gatekeeping you out, and you caught on to it. And now they're feeling guilt and shame over it. I'm seeing more anxiety here. We have these nail clippings where they've been biting their nails off because they're like, oh. It says here, be willing to look in the proverbial mirror regularly and embrace the light and the dark. This person needs to do shadow work. Part of their karma, pile 1, is that your bully is realizing that they're not honest with themselves. They like to act like they're one way, but they really are another way. I talked about that earlier before I even looked at the cards, that this person, they're like a shapeshifter to themselves. Even they like to pretend, oh, I'm all butterflies and puppies and but there's a side of them that's dark, a side of them that's a harpy, a side of them that's a torturer, a mean person, a bitch, even someone who just likes to, a sadist, I would say, even. And they're realizing that they hadn't spent time, being honest with themselves. They hadn't been honest about their flaws, okay? Who they are inside, okay? What do they need to be honest about? What is their flaw? What is their weakness? What is the dark side? Face it. And what do they need to improve? They hadn't done that work. They just let their shadow run rampant, doing whatever, pretending, and not addressing. It's like someone who goes to church, right? And prays to God, gets on their knee, prays to God, sings all the praise songs, and does all the stuff, and donates. But the moment they leave the church, they're, angry driving on the road, ungracious, lacking patience, unforgiving, hyper competitive, mean to people, they're not doing the work on the inside, part 1. And remember I said the chickens have come home to roost. There's this feeling of guilt within them, like they understand that, oh my gosh, I've just been pretending to myself. I'm not a good person. I'm a horrible person. I need to become clean and come correct, not just with others, but with myself, and do the work within to be a good and better person. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead and move on to your next set of oracle cards. We have tough. Oh my goodness. Someone's being tough on them. Someone is being tough on your bully, pile 1. And justice. Oh my gosh. Yes. So here's what I'm seeing, pile 1. Is that your bully is dealing with their karma big time. I feel like either it could be you. Like I said, there's someone that is caught on to how they really are. Someone has caught on to this. And they're like, oh, heck no. They're mad. They're mad at your bully, pile 1. They're facing, I feel like there's someone who's decided, oh, I'm taking my kid gloves off with you. I get it. You're not nice. This could be you, pile 1. Someone is telling, he's like, you can see this look. It's this dead ass sober look in their eyes. Like, I know who you are and I know what you do. I know what you're about now. I'm no longer going to fall for this act. Like you're a cutesy, kind, nice person, when in reality you're the devil, okay? When in reality you're a sadist. I'm no longer going to be like this with you anymore, and it is breaking them up on the inside, pile 1. They are thinking about all the things they did wrong. They're having nightmares about it. They're like, oh my gosh, I was so horrible to pile 1. How could I have done that? How? So, this is good, and it's kind of a positive thing, because this means that they're having a dark night of the soul, a reckoning, if you will. They're now accounting for their sins. It says your justice. And this is the true justice. This is not just the justice of, it could be legal. It could be legal. Maybe they're being confronted with some kind of legal, maybe they've been sued or something for their behavior with others. I don't know. Maybe the same type of thing they did to you, others are suing them for it. Okay, that's possible. But most importantly, the true justice, the one that settles in the heart, right? When at the time they're doing these mean things, where they're being sadistic, where they're bullying, where they're holding people back, you, pile 1, doing all these things, getting in their way, gatekeeping, blocking, dirty tactics, being an ass, being insecure and acting from a place of insecurity instead of wishing others well and helping others rise, they're now starting to feel the guilty pangs of it. And it is horrendous, pile one. It's like being hit with all of it all at once and realizing just the shame all at once. Boom. Because they refused to tune into their conscience during those times when they were doing these things. So it's all sort of like accumulated inside of them, and there's this huge deluge of delayed guilty feelings, anxious feelings, all kinds of feelings like, shame. Okay. And so there's a lot for them to deal with. They had no shame in their game before. Well, guess what? It turns out that shame was simply being delayed. And now the chickens have come home to roost. That's what I'm getting. We have lightning. Control your anger or you will be sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Looks like they needed to control their temper. This is something they failed to do. They failed to control their petty impulses and instincts. Okay. They let themselves get out of control. All right, that's interesting. Now we have prison. Oh my gosh. So in some of y'all's cases, I do think this is legal. Okay, just take it as it resonates and leave the rest for others. I do feel like this person, this bully of yours, has been possibly sued because they did this to others, and others are now suing them. And, the Eight of Swords can represent prison time, actually. You can see the bondage with the hands. Sometimes it's mental, but sometimes it's actually prison bars, okay? Now we're seeing prison bars down here, so there's some resonance going on. So for some of y'all, this person is doing prison time for what they did wrong to others. It's possible that they withheld what others had coming legally and rightfully. And so because of this, it's punishable under the eyes of the law. And this person may be doing prison time for this. Now, another look at this, if that's not what it is, because this is not going to apply to everyone. For some of y'all, it could be as simple as a timeout. This person may have been suspended from work and told, you're not allowed to, they may have found out about this. Remember I said others may have found out about this. This may have been let out. The cat may have been let out of the bag. Maybe this friend, they used to be their friend, found out what they were doing, went to go tell others. That's possible. And their reputation has now been harmed while you're rising, right? And people have found out about it and they're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Maybe their superior, everyone's got a superior, right? Heck, even the CEO has a superior. It's called the shareholders, the board members, So what I'm saying is your bully superior or the powers that be have given your bully a timeout and said, oh my gosh, you suck. Go stay over there. You're no longer going to be part of the main happenings, the main show for a while. We don't know how long, but you're going to be set aside for now. You're going to be benched. You're going to be put in a timeout. It could be prison time. It could be a suspension. Yes. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's keep it moving here. We have when you lost something important. So, okay. Looks like they're losing you. Pile one. They lost you. You were important to this person. Pile one. Believe it or not, you were important. Either you were important to them or you were important to the organization that they were a part of. Because I see a box here which implies maybe a company or I don't know. It could be something official because I see some writing here on the side. It's maybe administration or something. Or maybe someone moving or relocating. And now they no longer have your skills. They no longer have your ability to stretch a dollar. They no longer have your ability to bring your posh, creative, practical vibes. They've lost it. This is part of their karma. And I guess I'll see you next time. With Erykah Badu. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Yeah. What's that song? Oh, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, I don't remember all the words, but yeah, you guys should look up that song. It's a let me see. What is that song called? You guys should listen to it. It's really good. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Yeah. So I feel like this person, they lost a good thing in you. This could have been someone you were dating too. That's possible. Okay. They lost a good thing in you, pile one. And look, you've got a similar head wrap. Look at the resonance in that. A similar head wrap on the heads there. So I think that you may have loved this person. It's possible you love this person, pile one. This bully. And it's like you were waiting, you were like a victim of theirs. I mean, you're not a victim, you know what I'm saying? But they tried to victimize you. And it's like you were waiting for them to get their act together, and they never did, and you had to move on. Pile 1, you had to leave this bully behind, or leave them to their own fate and their karma. Okay? And I see that it's like, for you, it's like you're peace. You're a spiritual creature, Pile 1. You understand the laws of karma. You understand that there is a price to be paid for these kinds of shenanigans that this person tried to pull in your life, or that they did pull. And I feel like you may have packed up and left, and they're like, where's Pile 1? Where's Pile 1? And you're gone. And for you, it's like, well, maybe we'll try again next time. Maybe because there are some things about this person that attracted you. If you're in a relationship with this person, there's some things about this person that attracted you, but they had a fatal flaw, which was this weird behavior where they would gatekeep you out. And it's like, maybe you'll see them in the next lifetime, maybe not. But sayonara, baby. Later, deuces, okay? Okay, so let's move on here and see what else is coming through. We have wedding. Ooh, looks like someone moved on. Either you got married, or you found a new connection, or you found a new situation, or someone else committed to you or something. That's possible. Rolling in their grave. Oh my gosh. So I feel like you may have moved on to a different connection, Pile 1. You may have moved on to a different connection. Let me move this over here. And you may have found someone else. This could be a relationship. You were with someone who bullied you, who tried to hold you back. But it's like you left them behind and went ahead and found someone who cherishes you and treats you correctly and treats you like you deserve. Or found a new boss who's taking very good care of you and cherishes the work you bring to the table and rewards you appropriately and doesn't hold back on you and treats you ethically. And this person is like, what? I think that your bully may have found out about this. Or maybe you have a beautiful relationship in your life, and they found out about this beautiful relationship you have in your life, and your mate, you are treated like you are loved. You're loved. You're treated well. You're cherished. And it is this person, your bully, they don't like it. They don't like it. They are like, what? I lost Pile 1's talents and skills. They've got out of my grasp, got out of my reach. They're being loved where they're at. I can no longer do what I was doing. In fact, I see now that they're keeping their distance from me, and it's because of what I did. They caught on to it. They know who I am. They know what I am. They know what I did. There's no doubt. And they hate being seen like this, Pile 1. They hate it. And knowing that you're being loved, it's like they're rolling over their grave, knowing that you're being cherished, treated like a queen or a king. You found your match. You have a soulmate. You're good. You're good, fam. Okay. So if it's not a relationship, it could be just, maybe a new situation where you're being treated well. Okay. Be as simple as that. It could be symbolic. Next, we got dead end. Oh, wow. A place or condition where things must stop or options are exhausted. They're at a dead end, Pile 1. This it's funny because they're working so hard to gatekeep you out. They're working so hard to limit you. They're working so hard to frustrate you and not let you shine in whatever domain this was. But they're at a dead end. That domain they were struggling so hard for to gatekeep it, it's a dead end. It's a dead end for them anyway. It's a dead end for them. They're at a dead end job, or their career has bottomed out, leveled out. They can't go any higher than that. They're stuck there. That's what they're doing if they stay in that career, that same position, that's what they're going to be doing for the rest of their lives. That's all they will be doing unless they do something substantial. But I get the feeling that this person might be limited in what they can do. It's possible. And so they are stuck here because of their abilities. Wow. Next, we're getting cock blocking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I also feel like if this is a relationship, then I feel like you're no longer having sex with this person. You're like, they want that intimacy again, but in the meantime you got with someone else, and they're realizing it's done. There will be no sex. I almost feel like this person was getting things out of you, like your talents, your skills, your nurturing abilities, your ability to stretch a dollar, your poshness, your practicality, your ability to make some things very comfortable, create creature comfort, your body, having sex with you, taking advantage of what you brought to the table. But they didn't they were causing you pain also, and it was intentional. Pile 1. And now it's like you figured it out, you've left them. It says, guess I'll see you next lifetime. And they're maybe they were hoping they maybe could still get some of those benefits from you. They're not getting those benefits. Your departure, or your catching on to what happened, brought an end to the friendship, brought an end to the affiliation, brought an end to them enjoying the benefits from you. Okay. And that is what I'm seeing in the cards, pile 1, as far as what is your bully's karma. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it made sense, please give it a thumbs up. If it resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you. Take good care of yourself, okay? And I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to your reading, pile 2. So, what is your bully's karma for bullying you, right? What is their karma for bullying you? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this today. So you chose pile 2. I'll move your number over to the side here. You may or may not have chosen this Stingray. You may or may not have chosen Virgo, Taurus, or Pisces. Okay, so let me go ahead and do like a psychic vibe check here and see, just get some impressions on this bully here. So I feel like this bully of yours, I feel like they may have like ambushed you or something. They may have like, they may have preyed upon you, or like just sort of set a trap for you, and it's like you fell for a trap or something like this, and then they were like, aha, and they came out, and I don't know, I'm just getting that kind of a vibe. It's like they knew when to target you. They knew when to come at you with their bullying. They timed something correctly. So they used their skills for a negative purpose, which was to try to hurt you or undermine you or catch you in something. They're dangerous. Pile 2. I feel like, you guys remember the Stingray hurting? Do you remember that? Gosh, what is that guy's name? Steve Irwin. He was like a nature enthusiast, and he had a show, and he would show all the different like life forms in out in nature, and he got killed by Stingray. And it's interesting because as skilled as Steve Irwin was, all right, he understood the potential danger. I'm sure he did, but he approached it from the rear, and I think he was trying to be careful. Maybe he got a little too relaxed or something. I feel like you may have gotten a little too relaxed around this person. You may have gotten a little too relaxed around your bully, and you didn't realize what they were capable of, what they could do. Maybe you revealed some things about yourself, you got comfortable around them, and you maybe said or did something that triggered them. And so they bullied you. They attacked you. Okay, this could be part of what the dynamic was. I feel like this person is very dangerous. Pile 2. They're very dangerous. It's like they're not the one to be messed with. I almost feel like this person, if they have the opportunity to hurt someone because they feel triggered, it's like they go for the kill, They go for the jugular. So they're not to be messed around with. They're pretty heavy-handed, this person. I feel like they have this sort of like, their face looks like it could be really kind of like sweet or kind of simple or harmless or something. Like they have this sort of like simple, harmless vibe, but in reality they're like a snake. Oh my gosh, this person is, they're I don't know, I'm just getting like a real creepy, intense vibe. Like they just show like who they really are on the inside does not match their face at all. Please be careful with this person, pal 2. Wow, let's take a look at your tarot card. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like this person, they're very conservative. They move very slowly. They took their time with you. They're in no hurry. I feel like this person also may have been a hater of the type of work that you do. Maybe you're really good at your job and you're very methodical, very focused, very reliable, and they were bullying you because of this. Maybe they wanted to stop you from being so efficient. That's possible. maybe they stopped you from being efficient, and this is how they got in your way. They got in the way of the good work that you were doing. Yeah, they tried to sabotage your work. So like I'm hearing this like really noisy, kind of like old-timey truck out front. Someone came to visit and they turned their truck on. It's like and it's like really annoying and kind of messing up my video. So I'm just getting the vibe like this person was like, I don't care, this bully of yours was like, I don't care what kind of good work you think you're doing over there, I'm gonna be doing this thing over here, and I don't care if it messes you up, and I just don't care, you know. They just wanted to they wanted to mess up your careful work. Okay, kind of intentional, right? Maybe let's get more information. We got the Page of Swords. I feel like they try to get all in your business. They want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it. They wanted to get the information so they could deceive you. They could deceive you with it or something. I don't know. I just get like this person wanted to be all in your business, but it wasn't for a good reason. They were nosy. They wanted your information. They want to know what you were doing, see how you were doing it. Weird energy. Okay, let's keep it moving here. We got the Six of Swords. And when you try to move on from this weird thing that they were doing, where they were trying to sort of restrict you, control you, and put you in a box, or in this case in a circle, keep you in a loop, going forever and ever, keep you going in circles, okay? You had to get away from that. I believe you did succeed in getting away from this person. Maybe you're still stuck there, I don't know. But I feel like they're maybe trying to prevent you. They wanted to take this good work you were doing and kind of stymie you and keep you limited in a circle, in a flow. And you know, but they didn't want you getting away from it. They want you to stay stuck. They didn't want you to actually make real progress. They just wanted you to keep going round and round in circles, chasing your own tail. This may have been like a boss or someone who has like access to your situation. We have the Strength card. Yeah, this person tried to scare you. They tried to intimidate you. They tried to get in the way of what you were doing. They wanted to stress you out and get in the way. They want to add to your burdens. I feel like this person was like, oh, what are you doing? You know, this is just an example. Like maybe you're mowing the lawn or doing something, and this neighbor of yours, it's kind of annoying, comes over and it's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're mowing the lawn? Oh, you ought to know the way you're doing it, that machine's going to blow up in about 10 seconds. Yeah, that's right. You're messing up your machine. Oh, and by the way, this is the wrong time to be doing that. You know that? You're just going to be wasting your time. That grass is going to be growing back in like 5 minutes, you know. They just were full. I'm getting like naysaying energy, and it didn't have to be true what they were telling you. They just wanted you to feel confused. They wanted you to feel scared. They wanted you to feel stuck, like you didn't know what you were doing, even though you were doing fantastic work. Pile 2, fantastic. I think it's because you're doing fantastic work that they were like, let me see how I can discombobulate pile 2 real quick. Let me see how can I F up pile 2's shit right now. Like they're a troublemaker. This person wanted to cause you some trouble. And I'm also getting pile 2, like for some of y'all, they wanted to send you off on a fool's errand, you know. They wanted to send you off on a fool's errand, looking for information that you didn't need, throw a bunch of confusion, ask you a bunch of questions, send you on errands to get information, get you to leave your project behind. They wanted to be the monkey on your back. I feel like this person, you have to be strong in dealing with this person, pile 2. Or you have to be. It could be that this is a current situation. I'm getting you may have left it behind though, with the Six of Swords appearing. But I feel like you've had to be really strong dealing with this person. Like you've had to like get into their psychology a little bit and try to like say, okay, this person's scary, they're overwhelming, but I'm not going to show them I'm afraid of them. That's your vibe, pal. You're like, I'm not going to show this person that I'm scared of them. Okay, I need to be strong here so I can get a handle on the situation, even though this person is scary and they have the ability to do damage. Okay, they have the ability to mess with your work, or get you in trouble, or get you fired, or it could be a supervisor that's like, like I don't even know how they ended up in that position. I almost feel like I don't want to say that they're barely qualified, but it's almost like, maybe they got the hookup, so it's about who and they ended up in that position. But it's like you're the one who really knows how to do that job. They don't. They're full of questions about it. They don't really know anything about it, and everything they do to get into your situation just discombobulates you and messes you up. And so you have to contend with and put up with this person. They're annoying. Oh my gosh, pile 2. I'm so sorry. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your next set of tarot cards. The King of Wands. I feel like this person, they're a leader. I feel like there might be a leader in your situation. And maybe they recognize that you have leadership traits in you. And they don't want you to become fully actualized, or they want to get in the way of your leadership. I feel like part of why they are like this, why they're bullying you, is because they are your boss. That's likely. Or maybe because they want to be your boss, or they can identify the boss figure in you, and they don't want you to come into full actualization of this. That's possible. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles came up in pile 1 as well. You might want to check that out. Yeah, I'm just getting like, yeah, they see your potential, pile 2. They see that you are really gifted. You know how to make things work. You know how to turn, you're given a seed, and that seed becomes a thriving business. Like, this is part of why they're getting in your way. It could be also that they're just your boss and they have a business. And part of why they are bullying you is because, this is their way of running a business, which is kind of sad. They're not very good at it. They don't know how to, make the people that are working for them, good workers like you, pile 2, or people that are working with them on something, make them feel empowered and unmolested, okay, like left alone. Let them do their work. Like, I feel like this person doesn't quite know how to do that correctly, but they may be in a position of leadership over you. It's possible also that, let me see, let's keep looking here. We have the 6 of Cups. Okay, you may have known this person for a long time. Here's what I'm getting, pile 2. It's possible that this person they view you as a kid. They view you as junior or young. All right, so I do see, pile 2, that I feel like this person feels like maybe they can get away with bullying you because you're young. They feel like, well, pile 2 is young, so they can take it. They'll get over it. This is just, I'll just be part of their growing pains in life. Everyone has to go through these. Wow. I feel like this person, they may be bullying you because they want you to leave the home that you're at. They want you to move on. Maybe they're trying to help you. Like it's like a coming of age. I feel like this may be a parent, actually, not just at work. It could be a family situation where this person's like, well, I want them to, build their own thing, do their own thing. And maybe if I bully them, this will help them, go find answers elsewhere and leave and go figure themselves out somewhere else, right? It's almost like making a situation uncomfortable for someone to the point where they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go make my own life. I'm gonna go look for answers. I know who I am inside. This is you, pile 2, okay? This is, they're thinking, they want you to think like this, like, this doesn't work for me, being with this parent in their house and their rules. I'm gonna, it's like a growing up or a growing up story, okay, where you're becoming self-actualized and realizing that who you are doesn't gel or align with this person's rules or their values, and it's time for you to move on. I feel like this person may bully you because they want to sort of hasten this process or push you into this process, okay? Interesting. Next, we have the 7 of Cups. 7 weird, wild, and wonderful illusions to dazzle and distract your mind. Okay. I feel like this person, I don't know. I just feel like they want to be all up in your mind or something. They want to, I don't know. I feel like they want to be living in your head rent free, or they want, I don't know. I feel like this person, I don't know. It's almost, I'm getting like they don't have anything better to do, or they're just kind of low key obsessed with you, and they're all up in your business. They're all up in your business, pile 2. They're asking this, so why'd you do it like this? What's going on with that? Oh, okay, let me see. And so they're almost like micromanaging and over managing your situation. Very interesting. And I'm sorry you're dealing with this. I'm sure it sucks, okay? Sorry about that, pile 2. Next, we're seeing haters are mad because they see you winning. Yeah, remember I said something earlier about you're really good at your job. You have good skills. You're very methodical. You're hardworking. I almost feel like they're upset because I know this sounds bad, but it's almost like they see you're doing well, but they're trying to fault find anyway. They want to find fault. They feel like it's their role to find faults. And if you are already good, if you already make A's, for instance, okay, this parental figure might be like, well, let's see if I can push them to A pluses. Why, if they're making A's, how come they're not making an A plus, huh? Let's see what we can do to get them there. So there's a part of them that's like, feels like you almost make them redundant because of how well you perform. You're so high performing and so hardworking, and it's almost like you're taking their job away from them. They're like, I have nothing to do. If they're so good, then so it's like you're pushing them into overdrive without meaning to. And they're kind of upset, low-key upset about the fact that you're doing so well, because it makes them feel kind of useless. So they put themselves into overdrive to the point where they're being annoying. And it's like, I'm already making I'm already making all A's, bitches. Like, back the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. But they're trying to really, I just feel like they want to like stress you out to get you to leave and do better and do even better and frustrate you so you can move on with your life and get out of the house or move on to other things. Even if you're doing very well, they want to push you even harder so that you can, I don't know, fly out of the nest, or I don't know. See, purposefully triggering you to fuck with your day. Oh my gosh. Pile 2. Like, what did I say? I feel like they want to be in your head rent free. It's like they're being a bugaboo. And they want to add this sort of stress level to you intentionally to get you to leave, to grow, to come of age, to graduate, to move on to the next level and move on. Okay? They want you to go ahead and make a choice. They want to force you through discomfort into choosing something, maybe choosing a career path or choosing a college or choosing the next thing you're going to be working on so you can move towards it quickly. They don't want you dilly-dallying. They don't want you, maybe you work kind of slow. Even though you do excellent work, you're working a bit slow, but because you're being careful. Wow. Okay, I'm so sorry about this, Pile 2. Let's move on. We have Judgment. So their karma, Pile 2, is that they are going to have an awakening. Okay? They're going to have an awakening. There's going to be a reckoning of sorts. And it's going to come from someone's departure. It could be yours. Maybe you'll be leaving, or someone's leaving, and they're going to realize that maybe everyone's leaving or something like this, and it's going to make them have an awakening. They're going to have an awakening. I wonder what this is all about. Let's get more information. The Knight of Cups. I feel like there's something they're gonna want. There's something that they're gonna love, but they're not gonna get to have this thing for some reason. Okay, because whatever this thing is will have some type of awakening or reckoning and get away from them. Okay, move away from them, leave them behind. Okay, could be like a baby of theirs or a child of theirs, or a project they love will be sort of maybe there'll be an executive decision that's going to be made, and that project they're working on will be moved out of their lives, and this has something to do with you. Okay, it's their karma for the way they treated you. So it could have something to do with maybe this situation where they're trying to sort of pressure you and stress you through and push you through and get you to move because you're doing really well, and you're basically making them feel pointless. So they decided they were going to stress you out as a way to feel relevant, right? And be in your head 24/7 is this thing that they were so invested in is going to leave them behind. Perhaps lots of the people who are part of this project are going to leave and go do something else. Could be a family situation where all the kids and family members relocate and go do something else. It could be a company, maybe it's a boss figure, and they're going to, maybe this is a father figure, it's a father figure or a mother figure, and everyone in the family is going to leave, and this thing they care about, they're going to be caring for it by themselves. No one's going to be there to help them. Maybe they thought that you could just target only you and you would be the only one to leave, but what ends up happening is a whole bunch of people leave. Like maybe you start a trend by leaving, and everyone says, well, I want to do like Pal 2 did. I want to move to Oregon. Pal 2 went to California. I'm going to move to Oregon. Oh, I want to go to Mississippi. Or I want to go to India, and everybody's going to leave. Okay. Or it could be a boss situation, maybe at work, and everyone's going to be like, maybe you're going to move on from that because you're just like, I get it. I guess I've outgrown this and it's not going to be made comfortable for me. So I'm going to leave. And then before you know it, what this boss is having to deal with is people, you trigger like an exodus, okay, a mass exodus, and there are people that are like, oh, pile 2 left to go to this place to go do this thing. I feel like going over here and doing this thing. Okay, me too. I feel like leaving to go into this different department. I want to go and work on a project that I've been dreaming of all my life that's in Canada. I'm gonna go to do that, and people start leaving. They're all leaving. Look at that. So this is part of their karma. So they're gonna be stuck being the only one who's loving on this thing. We have wands, the 9 of wands. Okay, the barriers between us. I feel like what they may be stuck with is having to keep something at bay. Okay, something bad. It could be that there is, I'll give examples here, okay? You can just take it as it resonates and apply it to situation as it fits. But I see that, for example, it could be like maybe everyone leaves and, there's some sort of situation that they've got to manage. They could easily get out of hand. They always got to be on guard to keep this situation at bay. It could be, I don't know, maybe there's someone at home who's an invalid, someone who's maybe has a disability, and they have to take care of this person all by themselves. It's overwhelming. Okay, they're having to really, mind their P's and Q's and make sure everything's done right so that this situation doesn't get out of control. It could be that this could be an ex-boss, and everyone leaves, and there's some project that they need the man hours. They need people there to help mine and keep this thing under control, or else all hell is going to break loose. And in their project, maybe this company, they're going to lose out on money if something goes bad with this product that they're making, because all the people left or something like this. I don't know, but this is part of their karma, is that they're so busy trying to stress you out. You ended up leaving. Everybody ended up leaving. Okay, I think they underestimated how you were going to start a trend. They underestimated this. Pile 2. They underestimated that you were going to start a trend of everyone wanting to be like you and leaving. You were forced to leave, but for them, they're like, well, I want to be like pile 2. They're just copying you. They just thought you were cool, pile 2. And this is going to leave your bully stranded. It's going to leave them feeling like, oh my gosh, what have I done, right? We have the sun. They're going to have to witness your success, pile 2. This is part of their karma. They're going to have to witness how popular you become. Remember I said people start copying you, wanting to do like you and everything. They're going to have to just sit back and watch you be huge, pile 2. Well known, very successful, which is your destiny. It's your destiny. And the karma that they're suffering is that, they can't hold you back, and they knew that you were destined for big things, but they wanted to stress you out as a way. They wanted to make an impression on you, right? And because it's like a professor who has a star kid who is amazing, a genius, could maybe even teach the class like they're teaching it, and you just make this teacher feel kind of like irrelevant. And there's multiple ways for them to respond to the situation. They could be like, you know what, since Paul 2 is so good, maybe what I can do is support them. Maybe I can give them teacher level courses. Or maybe if you're in high school and you're really, really good, maybe they could just be like, I think I found some college level tests or activities for you. Since you're pretty much acing it, we can start, challenging you at the next level here and be of help to you, But instead, they wanted to be mean to you and pick on you and make you feel like whatever you were doing, like stress you out and add more work to your plate in a vindictive way, not in a way that's constructive, that helps you, but in a way that limits you, in a way that makes you feel stressed to the point where you're like, I got to get out of here. Okay, so the karma is that they're gonna have to watch you glow up, succeed, and become very powerful and successful in this world. They may already be seeing this. In you, pile 2. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle cards. We have conflict. Wow. Look at that. We got a big cow with a big broccoli head, right? And we've got rejection. So pile 2, your bully is going to be rejected by others. Yes, they're going to be rejected by others, or they could be rejected by one particular person. It could be a relationship that they're in. This could be you, actually. It could be you. But I just get the feeling like this person, maybe it's possible that in their own personal lives, they're proving to be a bad match with someone or something in their lives. And it's creating a conflict. Okay, there's a conflict of values going on either in their company, their family, their business, their relationship. I don't know what it is. Okay, it's going to be different for each of you watching. But I'm just getting like, they're being rejected by people because there's a clash of values going on. Okay, and that's why there's all this leaving. People are going to realize that your bully pile 2 is not. People or someone's going to realize that pile 2 is not the kind of person who works well with others. Their values are just too different. Maybe like, for example, someone might want to do clean living and eat vegetables and be gentle to the earth or something, and they're going to be like, no, I want a cattle, I want the methane, and I want, I don't care if it increases all-cause mortality, death. I don't care. She says what I know, and so I'm going to be eating beef or whatever. I don't know. I'm just coming up with examples, but I'm just getting the feeling like there's going to be a clash between them and other people or someone else, and they're going to be rejected by this person, someone that they really want to be with, someone that they've tried to woo, someone that they've tried to seduce, someone that they brought gifts to. Is going to be like, it's not working, I gotta go, and they're gonna leave your bully behind. Okay, next we have too late. Ooh, what's too late? Let's see. Monsters. Wow. Okay, so pile 2, I feel like the cat was let out of the bag. The cat was let out of the bag in the sense that, like, someone now understands that your bullies or your bully is a monster. Okay, or that they behaved monstrously. Okay, I feel like there's something to do with love going on here. We got the pink, the Knight of Cups. Is this the future of romance? I feel like there's someone or something your bully really, really loves to do, something they love to do, or someone they love to be with. And I feel like this person, they're gonna bring this person close, but they're going to find out that this person is a monster. And we're seeing it here, and we're seeing it here as well, you see. There's this almost like, Terminator, the bad kind of Terminator, right? In behind the bars here, and they're like freaking out. So I feel like, pile 2, your bully is going to get in close to something, hold something close, and discover a little too late that this person is a monster, or that the situation is monstrous, or maybe it could be maybe they end up finding new employees, or find a new lover, or find a new person to be close to, and find out that this person or these people are a pain in the ass. Okay, and it's going to be one of those things where at first it looks good, it looks nice, then all of a sudden they're going to realize, what have I done? And this is what's going to cause them to sort of wall off, or put this toxic person or persons or situation into a containment field. Okay, where they're like, I don't want to. Yeah, this is a story being told here. Okay, they're being rejected, and the people they're choosing are turning out to be monsters, or the person they've chosen turn out to be a monster that's from a monster family. Okay, I'm getting vibes like maybe, your ex, I'm getting like possibly an ex, someone you used to deal with, someone you used to F with, and you're like, we're not compatible, and you rejected them. They moved on, found someone else, but this person is a monster who comes from a long line of monsters. Wow. Okay, so we have negotiation. You can see these people hard at work here, trying to come to some sort of agreement. They may be haggling, they may be conducting some type of business dealing, or trying to come to an agreement of some type. Next we have bear, danger, especially in money matters. Well, to your bully's karma is that they're going to be dealing with some monstrous situations. They're going to be dealing with a monster of a situation. We got the Terminator-like creature here. We got the monsters over here. We got this bear with the scary teeth. So I feel like your bully is going to be dealing with people who are out for their money. People who want to drain their money situation. or and they're gonna feel stuck with this person that they chose, or these people that they chose. Maybe there's a contract of some type, and they're gonna want to try to get out of this contract because their finances are under threat. Because it's like, what did I get myself into? That's what your bully's gonna be thinking. I need to, they'll be gonna be freaking out. They're gonna be crashing out and thinking, how do I get out of this scenario? Okay, so they're gonna want to do some type of negotiation, and because it's scary, they're gonna be dealing with a monster, someone who maybe is very greedy for their finances, someone who wants to spend, or maybe it's gonna be like some kind of business dealing. Maybe they're going to make a contract with the wrong type of company that's like, we want all of this, we want 70%, and they're like, no, what the heck, no. And it's like, they've created a monster. Okay, so they're going to have to deal with a monster of their own making. Okay, next is playing games. Oh my goodness. Manipulative, insecure, immature, unreliable, selfish, strategic, petty, unstable, and irresponsible. Wow. Okay. And awkward interaction with your partner's family. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely getting feelings like your bully's gonna marry into someone else's family, and these people are going to be greedy. They're going to be, it's grasping hands. They're going to be mean. They're going to be like they're going to be lacking ethics. They're not going to be good quality people. They're going to be bad people. They're trying to drain your bully's finances. And so I'm getting like they may marry someone who's busy playing games, whose family they don't get along well with. And so what I'm getting also is that for some of you, this could be your own family. It's going to be awkward interactions with your family, pal two. They're going to meet your family and be like, hey, what's up, my man? Or what's up, papa, or whoever. And they'll try to give him a fist bump. They're gonna try to like, maybe this is them, they'll try to give him a high five, and they're gonna be like, yeah, just give me a fist bump right here, let's keep it right here, like it's sort of a distancing move, right? And they're gonna be like, oh, so I feel like they're gonna lose their reputation a little bit because of the way they treated you, and the people they're used to dealing with are gonna treat them kind of weird. They kind of want to keep a distance between them because of the way they treated you, and they're gonna be dealing with people who are playing games with them, who are unreliable, selfish, not like you, pal two. Remember, you are methodical, you are reliable, you are hardworking, but they want to stress you out, could all be in your head and try to, mess with you and stuff, and because you're so good that you made them feel, irrelevant and useless. So they're like, well, how can I, one up the situation? And so they got caught up playing stupid mind games, and now they're winning stupid prizes. Okay, by either getting in with another family that's way worse than anything they ever dealt with you. Okay, it's like night and day. Okay, or there's the aftermath of, maybe they tried to move on from you and find someone else, but that person turned out to be a monster, and they're now having to deal with the circumstances surrounding this monster person or monster of a situation, and they're just dealing with shady characters, people that are like playing games with them. People that have, it's got like a weird chemistry to it. People that they're smiling at, but these people are like trying to stab your bully in the back. Wow, this is interesting, very intense. We have easily distracted. Put it on this side, and we can see someone here is kind of like, oh, they're all in their head. They don't really pay attention. This could be the new employee, or your replacement basically, or like someone else that your bully is dealing with, some other person. Okay, a new employee or a new partner or a new situation, and it's kind of sloppy and not really paying attention. Maybe it's AI, I don't know. Okay, next we're getting accident. Of course, right? Easily distracted leads to an accident. Makes sense. So pal two, your bully's karma is that they're going to be dealing with sloppy people, sloppy situations, people that they don't care. I mean, compared to your Knight of Pentacles energy, it's like night and day, pal two. Night and day. This could be your replacement, or someone that's maybe a new situation that they're dealing with, where the people there could care less. They're caught up in their heads and daydreams and doldrums, and look, it's leading to accidents. maybe not literally a car accident, but it could be like just things breaking down, things not working correctly because someone's being sloppy, they're not paying attention, they're just not putting in that level of care that you were giving, pile 2. This is what your bully is going to have to deal with in the future. Next, we have spiritual hater. Oh my goodness. Hates on your spirituality, light, magic, power, and clown. A sarcastic personality, joyful times, the effort to seek enjoyment. Okay. Wow. Whew, pile 2. Your bully is in for some rough times, man. It's like they lost out on you because they were incompatible. They wanted to make it difficult for you. You moved on. The good people left with you. And now they're stuck. They thought they found what they wanted. Like, oh, this will be my new person. This will be my new situation or new group. And they're so in love with it. But it's like on a timer. The timer goes off. Boom. Out from this compartment comes all these monsters. They're like, what? Bad behaviors. Like rude, sloppy, uncaring, argumentative, greedy, grasping, wanting as much money as they can, hateful, playing games, not taking things seriously. It's all a game to these people, whoever your bully is going to be dealing with. It's got weird interactions, and they're dealing with jokers, pile 2. This is their karma. After triggering you and being a pain in the ass for you, what their karma is going to be that they're going to be surrounded by shitty people. Okay, and they're going to be hurting over this. They are. They're gonna be. It's gonna make them. I feel like here's what's gonna happen. Pile 2 is they're gonna think about you, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, pile 2 was amazing. I should have been grateful for pile 2." But I feel like for some of y'all, but no, I didn't say they were. So I said they were cunning. They're cunning. And they're cunning when it comes to how they were bullying you. They like to sort of hide and shift and pretend they weren't there, but then they boom come out and surprise you with and ask you stuff, to be spying on you and stuff like that. So hope I didn't say smart, because they don't seem all that smart to me based on what I'm seeing here, pile 2. I feel like they're gonna wake up one day and realize, they're gonna look at the sun, how well you're doing, how successful. In fact, you might be popular, famous, super successful, super intelligent, full of energy, doing very well, and they're just gonna stand back and be looking at you, and they're gonna be forced to stand back and admire you from afar, and just be like, wow, look at pile 2 doing so great over there, shining so brilliantly. Wow, I guess I wasn't worthy. I guess what I deserve is to be stuck with people who are playing mind games and who are stressing me out like I was stressing pile 2 out. And they are going to find their vibration, pile 2. The energy they've been putting out, they're going to find people like them to match that energy to a T, because they drove away higher vibrational energies and entities like you, pile 2. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 2. If you've enjoyed this reading, please let me know and give it a thumbs up. If it resonated, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, okay? And let me know what you thought in the comment section. Take good care of you, okay? And I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to your reading, pile 3. So what is your bully's karma for bullying you, right? What is their karma for bullying you? We're going to be finding out today. You chose number 3, pile 3. Let's move that over here. You may have chosen, or maybe you didn't, this snail creature. Oops. And you may or may not have chosen Aquarius, Gemini, and Capricorn. Okay. So, pile 3, I feel like for some of y'all, this bully may have been an ex of yours. Okay. And if that is the case, then maybe an ex-friend or an ex-romantic partner, just an ex of some type. I feel like this person, and I'm just kind of getting an energy read on this person real quick, this bully of yours, this bully. I feel like the way that they loved, the way that they do relationships, I don't know what other way to say it, but it's painful. This person does, like, I feel like when this person loves, they stab. Okay, they view stabbing as love. So, I mean, I'm going to break it down for you. That's symbolic, right? But imagine, I'll give an example. You got a friend and they're just the most jolly person. They laugh big. They love big. Every time you show up, they pull you close, and maybe they're a big guy or a big gal, and they pull you close, and then when they pull you in and they slap you on your back a couple of times, like pop, pop, pop. And it's endearing, it's supposed to be a sign of endearment, but it stings and it hurts and it burns whenever they do it. This is just an example, okay? Very basic. So it's something like this where they have these inconveniencing or hurtful rituals around, yeah. So like I was saying, there's something about this person, like, when it comes to these rituals they built around, affection and, all this is, it's painful. Like, and I'm also getting like, maybe it's intentional too. Maybe there's a part of them that it's like, they know it hurts you. They know it does. But for some reason, they've kind of built a certain value system around, hey, you want to be close to me? We're going to have to do these things like hazing, maybe you come into their house and it's good old jolly Tom or Helen. But when you come in to their house, maybe there's a tripwire. You don't see it there. And that's what they do. They have little jokes and pranks all around their house. And as soon as you walk in, you trip the wire, and a small bucket of water on top of the door falls on your head and drains your clothes and falls all over your iPhone, and you're like, what the fuck? And they're like laughing it up and go, oh my god, that was so funny, blah blah blah, and to them it's a barrel of laughs, and they're just cracking up, and they expect you to laugh, they expect you to think it's funny, and there's a part of you that was like, okay, it is funny, but this is getting old. I don't like being made the butt of the joke all the time. Maybe they would crack jokes at your expense around other people or mock you, and it just got old. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they weren't sensitive to the fact that these jokes or these pranks or this way of handling you bothered you. This is just an example, of course, but it's this type of energy, okay? And either they didn't know it, or they know it, but they don't care. They feel like that's all part of it. Their value systems this is their value system is when, this is my friend, and yeah, I'm going to make them uncomfortable at times. They viewed you as a toy, pile 3. It's like you were a toy to them or something to play with. That's possible for some of you. I feel like this person, this bully of yours, sometimes they would just disappear on you. That's possible. Just take it as it resonates. And you wouldn't be able to get a hold of them or reach them for days or weeks. And you're all supposed to be friends, or you're supposed to be close, but they just take off. Or maybe this is a mate. There's someone you're dating, and you're close. Maybe you even live together, and then they'll just disappear for a few days. Trying to call them, can't call them. They can't reach them. Maybe you've driven to a point of panic. You wanted to call the cops or report them missing at some point, but you've just learned that they just go into these disappearing stints, and sure enough they turn up, but in the meantime they put you through stress. It's a form of bullying. I could see that, where they just don't care about your feelings for a few days or a few weeks, and they just ghost you and disappear on you, and they don't warn you without warning. They don't tell you. I feel like this person, I don't feel that they threaten your life though. There's something kind of harmless about this person, but at the same time there is something about them that would emotionally stress you out. That's what I'm getting. This person emotionally stressed you out. I feel like this person, it's like they travel light, or here today, gone tomorrow. They show up with a little backpack with a few things in it, like a toothbrush or whatever, and they'll just stay for a few days and they're gone. So I don't know if I would call it bullying. I guess it is a form of bullying, because they're inconsiderate of you. You want permanence, pile 3. You want permanence. You wanted permanence. You want respect of yourself, your being. You want things to be taken seriously. You're just a different type of creature from this person, pile 3. Let's see what the tarot cards are saying. This is very interesting energy. And I also get the feeling like there's something about them that was kind of slimy, or they're a bit of a slime ball. I'm so sorry if you really love this person, but I'm just this is the impressions that I'm getting psychically, okay? If it doesn't resonate, just leave the rest for others. Maybe during the times that they disappear on you, this would make you look bad to others. Maybe there were events or things they were supposed to go to with you, and they would just disappear, and you were left having to explain things to people, and you just put you on the spot and made you feel abandoned, or they're like a rolling stone. So we got judgment. So I feel like maybe you wanted to party with this person. and you weren't able to do so, or perhaps this person liked to party too much. Maybe they over partied. Also getting like this person, they didn't show up to your events. They were flake, maybe. Perhaps they would roast you in front of others. They would let everyone know certain things about you, even though you didn't. They'd broadcast your business out in the streets, let everybody know, and you didn't like that. That's possible. Let's keep it moving and see what else comes through. We'll put it all together at the end. We got the devil. Okay. Wow. So pile 3, this person, man, they were controlling of you. They were possibly abusive. Yes. And I kind of picked up on that earlier during the psychic part of this reading. This person was abusive. They didn't honor. This person was abusive towards you or toxic. They didn't honor or respect you. They viewed you as a toy. Remember I said a toy? We got like the little puppet figures here with the puppet strings. They view you as someone to sort of manipulate and mess around with and play around with. And you were just something for them to play around with. I'm getting play. I'm getting that, they used you like a puppet. They may have been mean or cruel to you. They didn't care about your feelings. They treated you however, in front of others, possibly. They toyed with you, toyed with your feelings, toyed with your emotions. They could have been abusive or toxic. Okay, interesting. I'm so sorry you went through this, pile 3. Next, we got the 2 of Swords. Yeah, they go through these phases, right? But then they'd switch to a phase where they weren't noticing you or paying attention to you. They'd put you out of their minds. They'd ignore you. It's like you went from being, you would go, they would go between abusing you, manipulating you, being toxic towards you, treating you however they liked. And then between that phase and then all of a sudden there'd be nothing. They would ignore you. It's like you didn't even exist anymore. So it's a kind of a yucky energy, and it's like they would just leave you in a state of limbo, like a stalemate. You're not sure, okay, where I have, it's like you'd be like, I have nothing to act on. I can't talk to this person. I can't deal with them. They won't talk to me right now. Maybe they go through phases where they would leave you alone, but during these phases you would start to gather up your strength and be like, I need to talk to them about this. I want my bully to stop, or I want to figure out a way to get out of this whole loop with them. But then before you knew it, they'd be back to doing this thing with you again. Maybe they controlled you with drugs or certain substances. That's possible. Next, we're getting the 6 of Wands. Oh my gosh, 6 of Wands came up 3 times so far. Was it? Yeah, in each spread so far. Pile 1, pile 2, and now pile 3, we're getting 6 of Wands again. So, pile 3. I feel like this person, your bully, maybe they didn't want to recognize you publicly. They didn't want to show up and celebrate you amongst others. It's possible they wanted to, they messed with your reputation. Maybe during your crowning moments, when you were doing great and you were receiving the respect and accolades from the world, from your work or your church or whatever, they wouldn't show up. They wouldn't show up to give you that, give you that feeling like, yep, there's my person over there. They're in the audience. You like someone cares about me. Besides the crowds give me adoration and adulation, I've got someone who cares, who's here to see me in my moment of shining glory, to celebrate me. And maybe your bully not showing up, this was a way of them controlling you and hurting you. It's like you knew it. You knew that this was a form of bullying, the way they would just dismiss your crowning moments and not show up to support you in them, or clap for you, or just represent for you. But of course, whenever they needed something, or they needed sex, or they needed you to perform something or be a certain way for them or be their little puppet, they show up for that. Wow, I'm so sorry, pal 3. Okay, I'm sorry about that. This person may have liked to put your business out there, things that embarrassed you, but when it came time to when you're looking good and things are great for you, maybe they wouldn't show up for that. Okay, we got the King of Cups. I feel like your bully, they emotionally manipulated you. That's really what it is. This person, they were a master of emotional manipulation. They wanted to control how you feel. They wanted to be in control of you like a little puppet. That was their thing. That's how they got off. That was their high with you, was, you know, they get to kind of play with your heart, play with your emotions. Okay. They were moody. At times they were cold or moody. Okay. Interesting. We got the High Priestess. So I feel like this person, your bully, I feel like they treated you this way because you're beautiful. They treated you this way because you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous, pal 3. They lusted for you. They lust for your body. I feel like there may be sexual play or some sort of like, it could be like BDSM or some sort of like, maybe not BDSM, but like some sort of emotional manipulation surrounding sex, where maybe they were dominant and you were submissive or something. Or maybe they treated you this way maybe because they couldn't have you. Maybe they wanted to have you sexually. They were very attracted to you, but they couldn't have you that way. So they focused on manipulating you in whatever ways they could. Because I'm getting that maybe you kept it pure with them and you didn't have sex with them. And this is part of the appeal, is that you are the one, they wanted you in that way and they knew they couldn't have you. I'm getting, you know, the High Priestess represents, this is the card of the sister, the daughter, the priestess, the model, the virgin, the woman who has not had kids yet, the single woman, a woman of beauty who is not accessible to most people. So what I'm getting, pile 3, is that maybe you kept your legs closed and you didn't let this person, you know, get into you in that way. And this is part of why they bullied you, is because they, you know, couldn't get with you in that way. And then that's the message for some of y'all. And then the other flip side for the rest of y'all is they bullied you because of how beautiful you are and how hot you are, and maybe because of how spiritual you are too, how spiritually pure. Okay, perhaps they wanted to keep you hidden. They didn't want people to see you. Maybe they preferred for you to be hidden. Maybe that's why they didn't come out in public to celebrate you, is because they didn't want to support that. They didn't want to support the public thing. They prefer to keep you private, or prefer to keep the situation private. They didn't want to, you know, maybe announce you in front of others and say, that's my person. Pile 3 is my woman, or Pile 3 is the person I've chosen for others to see. They like to keep it hidden. That's why they like to keep their secrets. You are their secret, pile 3. That's a message coming through for some of y'all. This person, I feel like, you know, it's funny. I want to say they were emotionally immature, but what it is that they're actually quite advanced, but they use their powers for, I don't feel like this person was wholesome. All right. We got the 2 of Wands. I think that this person was just undecided. They were hesitant. On one hand, they wanted to go out there and do these bold things and make these changes for you, but on the other hand, they wanted to stay in their comfort zone. So they were always when it came to you, as far as treating you correctly. Okay, they weren't sure if they should stop treating you in this way because that's their comfort zone and that's what they'd known, or if they should go ahead and reach out and be bold. They'd rather just not think about it. It's kind of, oh my gosh, pile 3, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with this. We have the 8 of Cups. Yeah. I feel like, you know, this is the 8 of Cups. Someone's walking away. Yeah. They treated you this way, I think, also, pile 3, because you chose to walk away. You chose to be this is also the card of the X, by the way. You chose to become an X. You chose to be someone who's not letting them in like that anymore. Okay, so it's possible maybe you had kids with this person, or I don't know why you would continue to deal with someone like this, but apparently you had to for some reason. And maybe after seeing how they were, you stopped giving them yourself intimately. And this is why they would bully you, is they started realizing that, oh my gosh, I'm losing pile 3. Pile 3 is walking away. And so, you know, this is part of what, you know, reduced their motivation. Not that, you know, I see that they were on the cusp of trying to change, but it was never going to happen. Pile 3. That's kind of my vibe on this. This person liked to play games. They like to toy with you. Oh, sorry about that, pile 3. Okay, let's check out the haters exposed cards. Why? They want you to mention them to gain clout. So maybe they wanted you to complain about them. They felt that if you are complaining about them, then at least their name would be in your mouth. Okay, and others would be hearing it. So they wanted recognition, but they didn't want to give you that recognition in public. But they wanted that recognition from you. Wow. They wanted you to talk about them. They wanted to be with you because that added to their clout. That made them look good. Okay. Maybe because of how beautiful you were, they wanted to say, you know, I got to get Pottery and keep him or her hidden in the house, and they no longer go outside. I get to control them. I don't want them being seen by people anymore. I want them to stay inside. And for me, special, I've hidden their beauty, or I've hidden who they are from others' eyes. You know, I'm getting like very repressive vibes, almost like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm not feeling good doing this reading. This is so sad. I'm so sorry, Pottery. Like, they try to repress you. They try to hide you. I'm almost getting like a Middle Eastern vibe, like a Dubai vibe, where like the women, they wear the burqas and they're all covered. I'm not disrespecting, okay? I'm just saying, I'm just getting this vibe like an abusive person who wants to keep you hidden and doesn't want to celebrate you in front of others, doesn't want to celebrate your accomplishments in front of others, but they want to be associated with you, but privately. And, you know, this is the way they withheld this from you, as a way to sort of emotionally manipulate you. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Paul. 3. Next, we got they envy your skills and talents. Aha. So that's part of what's at the bottom of this, is they were jealous of you and what you're able to accomplish, these victories you had, where perhaps you're a performer, you're a singer, you're a dancer. They didn't want to support that. They were like, maybe they don't know how to play the piano. Look, I get seeing the trumpet here as well. Maybe you were following your calling. Your calling is to be a musician. Your calling is to, you know, sing, dance, be in the arts. And you had a beautiful performance or something that you do for others to see. And, you know, they'd rather see it at home. They wanted to see it at home. They're fine with you performing for them privately, but they didn't want to see you perform outwardly. Okay. Perhaps they wanted to walk away from you. I mean, I'm seeing that for some of you. You know, part of why they didn't want to support you is because they didn't want to stick around for the long term. They wanted to walk away, and maybe they had something they wanted to do. Maybe they wanted to study, or they wanted to go to school, or go into the world of some kind of academics, or I don't know. It's very, very, very interesting energy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your next tarot card. We have the Ace of Cups. This is their karma, guys. Their karma is that for the way they bullied you is emotional loss. Their heart chakra is blocked. Okay. They you know, because they were not able to love you fully, you know, this indicates a blockage within themselves, really, right? It's not really, you know, you may have been a victim wanting more from them in that sense, you know, a victim of this lack of pouring forth. They couldn't seem to be able to give you. I'm also getting like that the way they express love is going to be stymied. Okay, they just got a, you know, little shrunken little heart, a shriveled, shrunken little heart. Emptiness, a sense of emptiness. Like their heart is not. I don't know how to explain it. Let me get more information. Okay, we have the King of Wands. I feel like this person, you know, in their hearts, they want to be there to motivate you, to mentor you, to overcome challenges, and take point, be a leader in the situation with you. But they're not. It's like they're not going to be living up to the potential of it, and that's their karma. And I'm going to get more information as we go along, okay? We're going to get some oracle cards out here. We're going to really expand on this. We got the Lovers. Exactly. I feel like they're losing out on love. This is their karma. They're losing out on love with you. Okay? They're not going to, you know, there's not going to be love. Love is going to be blocked. Expressions of love is going to be blocked. They're not going to be your man. They're not going to be your lover. Perhaps, or they're not going to be the one who's yin to your yang, who is your soulmate. They're losing out on that relationship. And part of their karma is that you are either you found someone else to be with, or you're going to find someone else. That's what the cards are saying. This is their karma, is to witness this and see this. The ending of this relationship is also the karma that they're suffering. Okay, a conflict is going to appear, or has appeared. We have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, they're doomed to forever be undecided, always looking. This is their karma. Always looking, never really choosing. Except, let me see. Yeah. So they may choose, but they'll always be rubbernecking. They'll always be like, they'll choose one, but then they'll always trying to look at, oh, look at that one over there. Wow, look. So their hearts will never be settled. Pile 3. Their heart will never be settled, or they'll always be indecisive. I got that back here with the 2 wands. Maybe a little 2 swords a little bit, but like just this feeling like they're always, something about them is going to be lacking substance. Something about them is going to be lacking substance. Like they don't really know themselves or something, or they're not really sure who they are or sure what they want or something like this. Wow. Let's keep it moving and get more information, get more clarity. We got the broken bed and community. So what I'm getting from this pop 3 is that your bully is not going to be, they're not going to have the love of their life. The matrimonial bread is going to be broken. No one's going to be sleeping in it. Okay. I'm seeing like a sense of like togetherness that's broken. The love's not there. And the person they want is not hanging out with them. The person they want is going to go hang out with other people. Go have friendships. Go out, be seen in the world. Be admired in the world. Be loved. And they'll no longer have this, private bedroom experience that they want with you. That's done with. It's broken. It's shattered. Okay. I see travel, relocating, leaving, exiting that. So this is their karma, is to lose you in the bedroom because they could not support you publicly. They could not support someone, in the eyes of others. They didn't want to sit by your side and be seen in the eyes of the world. So they couldn't have you privately. Okay. Or perhaps you wanted this person to give you acknowledgement around others. It doesn't have to be a romantic or sexual thing. It could just be they wanted backroom deals with you. Okay. And so their karma is that they're going to, lose you, this backroom deal they wanted with you, and you're going to be thriving. They're going to see you thriving out there, shining, being celebrated as a queen or a king in your own right, doing what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Okay. All right. So we have teacher. Exactly. I kind of got like a mentor vibe. Now we're getting teacher, and we're getting bad news. Oh, okay. So I feel like, they want, this person wants to be, they wanted to be your teacher. They wanted to be your mentor. They wanted to show you the ropes, teach you things. But I feel like the bad news is going to be maybe you don't want them. You don't want them to teach you anymore. Or, I feel like they're going to get news is that you don't want to learn from them anymore. You don't want them coaching you, supervising you. You don't need them in that role anymore. Goodbye. Like a call saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Goodbye. Or, something like this. I feel like, they may also receive a call. They may also receive bad news that maybe they're outdated, or they may hear something that makes them feel bad too. That maybe from the industry or the community or from others, maybe from you, that they're old fashioned and their approach is outdated, and that they're too what's the word I'm looking for? They're not fun. They're repressive, boring, old fashioned, and this is where they're going to be losing out, is that they're no longer going to be valued. Perhaps it's almost like, hey, you should just go ahead and retire. You're outdated, and your approach is not working for the modern day. And this is going to be like, ouch. They're going to be like, ouch. Because they're being told, basically, you're no longer useful. You're outdated. Okay, this is their karma, is to hear this kind of feedback. Maybe they'll be told, maybe there'll be a professor at a school, and they'll be told, hey, it's time for you to retire. Maybe they'll want to keep working there into their 50s or 60s, and they're going to be like, dude, I feel like the faculty is going to call them and say, hey, we know that you haven't retired, but we have a policy that it's time for you to go. So I don't know, there's something like this going on. Just it's very interesting messages. So just take it as it resonates and apply it to your situation, okay? And as it fits. We have fly, a period of ill health and depression, and stopped by police. Wow. So pile 3, what I'm seeing here is that they're going to go through depression because they lost you. Yeah, they lost you. And, you know, they lost that closeness, that intimacy. Remember, the bed's broken. Now they're losing this relationship, the intimacy they had with you, the closeness, the bond. And it's like, it's going to rot. It's going to decay. This connection is going to decay. And it's going to put them in a deep state of depression. Their health is going to decline. And I see that they're going to be told by authority figures that I feel like they may start drinking or something to cope with the depression. And this is for some of you, they may end up with a DUI or something like this, or they may, you know, I'm just seeing like a domino effect, right? You know, they couldn't handle you correctly. They couldn't do right by you. And so therefore, there's sort of like a fallout effect that's going to occur from this. Okay. I'm seeing like a domino effect or a trickle down effect or something like this. And I see that they're going to turn to drink and get in trouble with the law. That's for some of you. And for others, I feel like they're going to turn to just substances that are not good for them. They could be overeating, and their doctor's going to tell them, hey, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. They're going to tell your bully, you gotta watch it. You're getting out of bounds. The parameters of, you know, your blood pressure is starting to get kind of high. You're starting to move into a diabetic zone. You're starting to do this. You're starting to do that. You gotta watch your heart. You gotta watch this. So they're gonna have heart problems too. I'm getting like heart problems. And they brought this on themselves, Part 3. The bully brought it on themselves. Okay. Next, we have double-minded. Yeah, they can't make up their mind. Remember, I told you they've chosen one, but they're looking over here, trying to. They're looking at all these other options. You know, they can't get settled. Look, double-minded. The inability to think rationally, to make simple decisions. Double-minded person is restless and confused in his thoughts, his actions, and his behavior. Such a person is always in conflict with himself. So this isn't about you. This is about they're not sure of who they are. They don't even know who they are. They're confused. Okay, there's some of this going on. Next, we have a mask here. Something spooky happened. Okay. Pile 3, I feel like your bully is going to... their karma for the way they bullied you is that they're not going to grow. They're not going to grow. They're going to remain stuck in this energy. And I feel like they're going to become very scary to others. People are going to see this person or deal with this person and be like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There's something deeply wrong with you. That's what they're going to think of your bully, Part 3. You're creeping me out. You're scaring me. That's what people are going to say about this person. This is what people are going to feel about your bully. One moment you're like this, you're showing me that you're hurting, you're vulnerable, you've lost things. Next, you're angry and raging and insane. Like, I feel like this person, though they have walked away from you, I see that. Maybe you walked away from them. They're going to be in a state of loss about it, but they're not going to know how to be like, oh my gosh, Pile 3, you broke me. You're the one for me. And I know that if I'm with you, I'll be happy. They can't bring themselves to do it. I need to change these things about myself and become more whole, more integral, you know, more integrity filled. And so they're going to end up being like a caricature of themselves, a scary figure that repulses people. I'm sorry to say this, you know, they may have a hard time finding new mates because the people are going to be able to detect once getting to know them that there's something off about this bully of yours. We have insincere. Look, another mask. You seeing this? Another mask. Look, split down the middle. Oh, mask, kind of. You can see the split face. Look, there's a split face. Look, there's a dichotomy going on here. They will forever be split, this bully of yours. They will forever be like undecided. On one side, they're professional. Look, we got a phone and a phone. Professional, they know how to talk, you know, and do their professional well. But on the other side, they got a dark side. This dark side likes to do bad things. They might be a bad girl or a bad boy. And they're never, I feel like they may struggle with, you know, they need to do some serious shadow work. That's what I'm seeing. It says you're prepped for surgery. Yeah, this is going to lead to health problems. I feel like the lesson that they are going to have to learn in this lifetime, Pile 3, is that they need to learn how to reconcile and come together and be more whole, right? bring it together, decide, be decisive, choose who you're going to be, lean into that, choose the right one, go through the pain of, bringing everything together. But I feel like they're going to struggle with this. I'm seeing kind of like maybe this could be the heart again, some kind of organ. We got the heart. They may develop some type of health problem or health crisis that they're going to have to go under the knife for, because this is what happens when we have these kinds of mental, psychological schisms and conditions and emotional problems. It can impact our health negatively. So like I said, there's this sort of like, trickle down or domino effect going on with this person, with your bully. This is going to be their karma. We got creeping. Yeah. So they're going to be watching you. Oh my gosh. Oh, for some of y'all, they may be stalking you, or they may be watching your social media. They'll always be like looking at you from the side, like trying to see where you're at and see what's going on with you. They will never get over you. This is their karma, Path 3. They will never get over you. They will always have an eye on you, keeping an eye on you. And sorrow, exactly. A deep emotional pain or unhappiness, a feeling of sadness caused by past actions, decisions, or events. They're going to be living in a state of regret. But because of this split dual nature that they have chosen for themselves, they will never be able to reconcile it. This is what's preventing it. Look, even the owl's face is split in half. They got one eye looking out for you and the other eye is in darkness. Look, one eye talking nicely on the phone, the other one's in darkness. Look, one eye crying over you, the other one's raging, mad, upset. Look at the mask. This person has some type of major issue. Look, more masks here. Perhaps you used to play this game with them and you thought it was just a game, like it was fun, but you realized, oh my gosh, this is really who they are. And you were like, no, I'm a creature of the light. I'm a creature of the light. You thought they could always take their mask off and come join you in the light. They couldn't. Okay? They were unable to. They have some major shadow work to do on themselves, and they're heading towards a certain destiny. If they don't do it, they're heading towards health problems, depression. Wow. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 3, as far as what is your bully's karma for bullying you. If you have, if this message resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. If it made sense, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this or what your thoughts are in the comment section. I would love to chat with you. Okay, take good care of yourself. All right, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye. Welcome to your reading, pile 4. What is your bully's karma? What is their karma for bullying you? All right, you chose pile 4. That's clear. You may or may not have chosen this beautiful you may or may not have chosen the dragonfly. We can move it out like that. You may or may not have chosen Sagittarius, Libra, and Scorpio. Okay, so what I'm getting, pile 4, I'm just trying to read your bully's energy real quick, okay? Psychically. I feel like your bully is cunning. I feel like they're cunning. They may have like played dead or maybe acted like they weren't really doing anything when they were actually quite alive and quite vital. I feel like this person could have been, I feel like your bully's voracious. They're voracious. They're scary. Like, they're the type to take someone and rip them apart. Just rip them apart. I'm talking metaphorically here. Like, they could be like the kind of person to just roast someone from head to toe until that person ran away screaming, crying, out of embarrassment or sadness or trauma. They ate people for lunch. That's what I'm hearing. They ate people for lunch. Maybe they ate you for lunch at one point, and maybe this could have been like a boss figure, someone in a higher up position from you that looked down on you and like bullied you because they quote unquote they could. I feel like this person has like a bad reputation, and what I mean by a bad reputation is that people have talked about this person and said, either your bully, and said like, don't be careful about that person. They've given warnings about your bullies, and your bully has a reputation for being fierce, for being mean, for being cruel, for like roasting people, tearing them down, breaking people. So this could be like someone's got a reputation as a meanie. That's what I'm realizing. I feel like, yeah, they eat people for lunch. So they're mean. They're mean-spirited. They're fine with hurting others. They're fine with breaking others mentally. I feel like whenever they had been attacked, your bully had been known to basically go incognito, or just go into hiding or something like this, or disappear for a few days. This is going to be specific to y'all, a few of you here. Maybe it's not true for all of you, but whenever your bully had been attacked by someone, if they went disappearing for a few days, this is how they deal with attacks: is they disappear. When someone's bold enough to send an attack their way, that really lands and really makes them feel some type of way, they just disappear. They can't take it, right? They can't take the heat, but they sure can dish it out. I feel like your bully, the one that you're asking about in this reading, I feel like if they're male, then they were very possessive of you. They're a very possessive person, and they're the type to demand absolute and complete and total loyalty. And of course, in any good relationship, there's loyalty, but like this person was like kind of crazy about it. Like, prove to me you didn't, that person who came to clean up our apartment or work on our dishwasher, prove to me you didn't sleep with them or do anything with them. And I'm getting that for a few of you, okay, maybe not all, but it's just something like this. Is this type of energy. I feel like this person, your bully, they may be the type to go on long trips, or just take trips pretty regularly. They may work outside the home or go away on business a lot. I feel like if this person, you're in a relationship with them, then they're the type to be like, you need to denounce any ex, anyone you used to date. Like, I want you to have nothing to do with this person. Man, they're just like very possessive, and they don't even want to be reminded of the fact that you ever dated anyone. It's like they like to pretend that you were a virgin and they find you first, and they never want to hear any other relationship. It's kind of pathological. Wow. I feel like this person, your bully, they may be like a micromanager, or they may do like helicopter parenting or something. It's possible they're a parent, or they were an employer, or they may have been someone that just like to like be breathing down the back of your neck, seeing every little thing you're doing, trying to tell you how to do every little thing, and just micromanaging every little thing. Yeesh. Okay. And they do that for a while, but then they take off and you wouldn't see them again for a while. I feel like this person, this bully of yours, they may have like really big eyes, and if they don't, then they're always keen to look for information about you. They're always looking up information about you, wanting to know more about you, asking questions. I think like this person thinks, for them, knowledge is power, right? And so whatever they find out about you, whatever they observe about you, they're going to use it against you. They would use that to bully you, whatever information they discovered. They may be this type. I'm also getting that they may have said some cutting words to you recently or in the past. All right, let's go and take a look at your tarot card. We have the King of Wands. So I feel like this person, they may have been overbearing. They may have had like, they may be overbearing on you, trying to do too much. They're being too much. It kind of reminds me of like a mother-in-law that was a bit much, or like a bossy employee that just expects too much of you. I'm just getting like someone who was over demanding and had these impossible expectations of you, that anyone from the outside hear them and be like, dang, they're expecting you to do all that. Like, I can't even do half of that. I can't even do, this is crazy. Like, people would agree with you that this person was being weird, that they were being too much. Definitely. Okay. All right, let's take a look at your next card. We have number 18, the star. Right? Wait, 18. Wait, 18 is the moon, actually. 17 is the star. Wow. Yeah, remember I said something about eyes? We got eyes all in here. You see? Watching you your every move. I feel like this person, man, they were breathing down your neck. They want to see everything you were doing. They wanted all the information about you. They'd spy on you. Maybe they had cameras, maybe at work. There's cameras everywhere seeing every little move you make. Or maybe they just have like eyes everywhere watching you, reporting back what they discover about you. I feel like this bully of yours, they wanted you, I feel like eventually, I feel like they wanted you to be like them, but you resisted. You're a different type of creature from this person. You're a different type of creature from this bully of yours. And I feel like they like to watch every little move you made, because maybe they didn't believe you. Maybe they're like, oh, pile number 4 likes to act like a little goody two shoes, but I'm pretty sure that they're not that good. I'm going to keep my eye on them and find where they're messing up or something like this. Just like a jaded sort of like negative outlook on you or something. Very jaded. I feel like they were shady towards you. I don't feel like they trusted you fully. They spied on you. They like to come in and spy on you and see what you were doing and get information and then go back into their little dark cave and take the information they got and go. I don't know what they would be doing with it, okay? But yeah, probably coming up with more ideas on how they can be more overbearing and over demanding on you or something. I don't know. We have the Queen of Pentacles. This person may have money. They may have money. And I feel like they would come visit you a lot. They would just show up out of the blue and just come visit you and come see what you were doing. It could be a parent showing up out of the blue while you were at college or while you were maybe you were away at school, and all of a sudden your parent would just show up on some random weekend even though they didn't warn you, and they're like, yeah, I'm in town. I got a hotel around here, so we're gonna be hanging out this weekend. It's like, why didn't you tell me? And of course their motive was to try to catch you doing something bad because they didn't fully trust you. Pile 4, I'm so sorry you had to deal with this, but they just definitely getting like overbearing, helicopter parenting, spying, just breathing down the back of your neck type of energy. And they had the means, they had the money to do this. People noticed how they behaved, for sure. I feel like you're not alone in how you view this person, your bully, pile 4. Others view your bully as overbearing as well. It's not just you, pile 4. You're not alone. We got the 4 swords. Okay, I feel like you had some dark times in your life, but I feel like this bully of yours, they would rather have just observed you from the, just the outskirts and just to see how you handle it rather than trying to help you. They seen you go through some dark times, some lean times, but instead of reaching out to help you, they just rather observe and see how you deal with and cope with hard times. They didn't want to, even though they were capable of helping you, they were not going to be doing it. They were busy living a fancy jet-setting lifestyle, buying nice things while they came by and watch you suffer. So, an example could be a parent who gives you a set stipend every semester and they have money and they fly in, but they want you to live under these means. They want you, they're kind of strict. They're a little bit strict. Like I said, they have these big demands. They were over demanding and kind of have these big expectations of you that you're going to cope, you're going to survive, and they want you to be strong and hardy. Maybe they weren't born with money, and so they came up and became a success, and so they want to see you do the same. So they feel like they're doing you a favor, but in reality they were just being, I don't know, maybe insensitive and a bit cruel. We have the 4 swords. Yeah, this person liked to put you in a bubble and observe you like you were a lab rat. Pile 4, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make it. It's just what I'm seeing. This was not nice, Pile 4. Okay, they wanted to like put you under a magnifying glass. You were like in a little petri dish. And they like to kind of watch you and see how you would. Let me add this little thing to their environment and see how they react. How Pile 4 reacts. Let me see. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't have done that. And then they'll take this information and hold it over your head and manipulate you with it. This is ridiculous. It's almost like a scientist or like an unethical scientist who has all these subjects they're not supposed to have and has trapped you. Maybe you were one of their subjects, and they would do like unethical practices on you. Like they would starve you of food for 4 days to see how you'd respond, or and then they'll throw you something. I don't know. This is yikes. I'm sorry, Pile 4. So sorry. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups. So your bully, Pile 4, I feel like they were this way because they viewed you as family, believe it or not. Jeez. They viewed you as family. Maybe they viewed you as family, and they didn't want you to be overly dependent on everything's gonna be okay. They didn't want you to grow up with these fairy tales in your head and how everything's always nice, even though there is a big house and there is money and there is security. They didn't want you wishing on a rainbow and being all like kind of like la-di-da and sort of I don't want to call it flighty, but like just sort of prone to daydreaming and thinking everything's going to be okay. They didn't want you to be impractical. They wanted you to be practical like them. The Queen of Pentacles is the height of practicality. Someone who can stretch $1, someone who can, someone who can, make beautiful things out of nothing, filled with talents and knows how to handle money, is opulent, it has money, is opulent and abundant. And partly because they learned how to stretch $1. They learned how to practically apply their resources in such a way that things would grow, things would flourish. And I feel like they were wanting this out of you. They wanted to turn you into one of them. Interesting. I guess they kind of sort of meant, well, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. I feel like they did this because they bullied you, Pile 4, because they have money. And they know that as a result, you have money. But they wanted to keep you lean, and they wanted you to sort of like, test your luck. They wanted you to go through a phase with them where you're just like, okay, do you need some help, Pile 4? All right. Well, I have these 4 little, they played games with you, Pile 4. This is so sad. They'd be like, I have these 4 little, maybe dice or fortune cookies or marbles or whatever. And they say, now just throw it here. And whichever one lands in that hole, that's the one you're going to take. And then you're going to open it and let me know what it says. And then so this is after you ask them for money or ask them for assistance. Okay. You throw it in there and you'd be like, okay, all right. I'm kind of in dire straits, but I'm sure I'll play this game. You throw it in there and then maybe the fortune cookies lands in the hole. You pick it up, you crack it open and it says, life is tough. And you pull the thing out and it says, life is tough and money will never be enough. So just make it work. And they'd have like a $5 bill in there or something. I mean, this person, they have problems. Okay, this person like to toy. They're cruel. I feel like this person's cruel. I don't think that this bully views themselves as cruel, but they are. They're cruel. Pile 4. They like to. The way they chose to raise you is. I feel like they wanted to make sure that the legacy you were going to be receiving, the money you're going to be receiving for them, will be well taken care of. That's really what's at the bottom of their goals. Is they want to make sure, because I feel like this might be a wealthy parent or something who is like, yeah, you could be getting more, but I'm not going to give you more because I want you to learn how to do with less. So when you finally inherit all this wealth that's going to be in your hands, you're not just going to go spend it all. You're going to know how to live low and live humbly and live beneath your means. But in the meantime, they're going jet setting, right? They got servants and going everywhere. I don't know, man. This is a little shady, but let's keep looking here. We have number 4, the 4 of Cups. I feel like they want you to be a pillar of society. Yeah, they want you to be supporting society. They don't want society supporting you. They want you to support the family legacy. They don't want the family legacy supporting you. Okay, whatever this is. And I know I've been using the parent that's strict, the rich parent that's strict as an example, but this could be a multiple situations. This could be a work situation. This could be like maybe a friend group, or I don't know. It could be an uncle, an aunt. It could be an organization or society that you want to be part of, but they're like hazing you and putting you through some lean, harsh times because they want you to be a member that supports the group, that's like a worthy member, someone they can depend on, rely on, someone who's going to be like a backbone of the group and not necessarily squandering the wealth of the group, but actually helps build the group out some more. Very interesting. Yikes. I mean, I like it. I kind of like it, but I wish they would go about things a little differently. Maybe be a bit more humane, a little kinder. But I guess they're trying to sort of forge something out of you. Pile 4. They're trying to make something out of you. Wow. Next, we have the 3 of Wands. It's admirable, but it's rough. And I'm so sorry you had to deal with this. Okay. Sorry you had to deal with this, Pile 4. We have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, they want you to be a reliable ally. They want you to be a reliable ally. They want you to be someone who will be patient, someone that if they walk away, when they come back, you'll still be there doing what you're supposed to be doing, holding your position, being someone reliable. They want someone, they're trying to make you into a reliable part of their legacy. Okay, someone who has good breeding, who is not into spending all the money, who's, and all this, he's not a spender. I think that they were raised like this, but when they finally got to the top of the food chain, now they're spending. Okay, that's what I'm seeing about this bully. Now they're spending, but maybe they started off like you. It's possible they were meager too. And, they feel like that is the way it's done. And so they're trying to give this to you. That's possible. I don't know, man. I don't know. Next, it says they can't stand your creativity because it shows they lack it. Okay, maybe they went through lean times, but they didn't do as well as you. They weren't as creative as you. Okay, Maybe this is why they've been particularly harsh with you and bullied you. You know, I said I didn't like some of these vibes, especially this one right here, where they make you go through lean times, starving, hungry. You don't know where money's coming from. You don't know what, and they're watching you suffer. They're hiding in the shadows. But in the meantime, look, there's all this money waiting for you. The 10 of Pentacles. But they're like, they're not going to give you any of it. They're going to let you just suffer. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? There's something cruel about it. Especially now that we're finding out that maybe they were put through the same thing, but they didn't thrive as well as you did. Maybe they're a bit jealous of this. And so they're making it extra hard on you. They were extra hard on you because they saw that you were making do and doing really well at it or something. I don't know. You are talented and they ain't. Okay. Maybe they see a lot of potential in you, and they just... They feel like you're definitely not the one that they're going to be spoiling. They don't want to spoil you at all. Okay. They want to make you suffer because maybe they see great potential in you. Maybe they feel like the more you suffer, the better you're going to turn out on the vine. Okay. They're jealous and in competition with you. Maybe I stand corrected there. I don't know. I just feel like this person is jealous of you. It's coming through. Okay. So let's begin to take a look at your bully's karma, shall we? What is their karma? So we're getting the King of Swords. All right. You know what this card is making me think of? It's making me think, you know, that whole idea that everyone's got a boss, you know, even the CEO of mega corporations got bosses, you know, they got the investors, they got the stockholders, they got the board, you know, and even when you think about it, even those people, in a sense, the investors and all these people, they have bosses too, you know, to some degree, the government, right? They still have to answer to the government. There's laws that they have to obey. You know, I know that there's a lot of questionable with all those laws are now being bent and they can be bought and things like that. But that is like, you're getting what I'm trying to say is that we all have someone to answer to. And I feel like your bully is going to be answering to someone who is cruel and brutal. Okay, someone who's going to be making them. I'm hearing run, Forrest, run. You know, or keep running, boy. You know, I don't mean to, you know, sound like some sort of old timey slave reference. I'm just saying it's just a slave driving. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say it. Someone's going to be slave driving your bully. Your bully is going to be made to... It could be a person who's making them... who's keeping them on their toes, keeping them pushing and running and sweating. Or it could be like a force or an entity of some sort. It could be a societal force. An external societal force. Or it could be someone in their lives. It could be a boss figure. Who's going to be making them like, you know, come on, get, let's go. And they're going to have to go for some reason. They're going to have to try to keep up with things. I don't understand what that's about. We're going to get more information as we go. That's very interesting. I'm going to have to get another card here. Give me more. We're getting, okay, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so we're getting the Nine of Swords. And I'm also getting, to be fair, I also got the Ace of Cups. Let's just keep it all there. So, we're getting, what is this again? The Nine of Swords. Yeah, so pile 4, your bully is going to be getting bullied. Yes, they're going to be getting bullied. And the reason they're going to be allowing themselves to be bullied is in order to get some type of sustenance or reward. You know, I remember I said that they're wealthy. Your bully has access to some type of resources, and in order to maintain access to these resources, they have to allow themselves to be bullied by someone or something. Someone is telling them what to do. Someone is making them go. Someone is talking down to them, talking down to them and picking on them, saying they suck, berating them. There's someone in their lives who's treating them like this. And why are they letting this happen? Because they want access to plenty. This is the cornucopia, okay, of plenty. And this is why they let themselves have this, be treated like this. Very interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. Next, we're getting the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Someone's not going to be allowing them to have access, so they may be wealthy, but I'm starting to see now that they are on a stipend. If they want to go on a trip, or something. It's like someone saying, okay, you want to go on a trip? Fine. Let me go ahead and, how much do you need for that? Give me the ticket. Let me know how much. And how much you need to stay at the hotel room for, how long, how many days, how much is that? Okay, I'm going to give you $600 for that, and I'll give you maybe $100 of pocket money, and that's it for the weekend. So it's being rationed, it's being stipended. They don't have like access to the money like that for some reason. It's been rationed out, it's been stipended out, and if they overspend, they're talked down to. If they mishandle, like for instance, if they get all this money and they take it somewhere, and then when they come back, they have to account for it, they have to show receipts. And if they're falling short, or they've overspent, or they're doing too much, someone talks down to them, someone makes them feel small, someone stresses them out. What? That's crazy. So I also feel like, part of this person's karma for the way they treated you is that they're in lockdown mode. Someone is being stingy with them. Someone is like, okay, yeah, they have the banking info and all this. If your bully needs money or access to resources or something, it's someone else who's going to be, and they don't have access to the passcode to the bank account. They don't know any of that information. It's someone else who does. Okay. Wow. Next, we're getting the Queen of Swords. Yeah, I feel like it's every man for themselves, man. Every man, your bully's world is a competitive dog eat dog, every man for themselves type of world. It's not what you think. They're not rolling in it like that. They're not. I feel like this is what maybe you might have been thinking about your bully, is that they've got all access to all this power, and they got this and they got that simply because they're higher up on the ladder than you. Well, apparently there are people higher up on the ladder than them that treat them like crap. Maybe this informs the way they treat you. Okay, so now we're getting some insight into your bully. So your bully's karma is that they fight for survival. Every little scrap they get, they fight for it. They're regularly in competitions, and if they lose a competition, they're gonna be hungry that day. Something like this. It's an example, okay? And so they put everything they can into winning. They gotta put everything into it. And if they win, oh gosh, I get to have dinner. It's so like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. This is their karma for the way they treat you. Okay. We have lose again, mega chance. Look, there's someone here playing the slot machine, the slot machine, and look, they're losing. So this person may be a gambler, but they're not very good at it. So whatever little money they get, they go gambling and they lose it. They lose their money. They get close sometimes, so it's like a big tease, but they lose money. So not only are they're being rationed out, stipended, they're limited, but they also have like an addiction problem or gambling problem. Oh, I get it. This gambling problem, he's causing someone in their lives to be like, oh, you don't get to have access to our money. I think this person, for the karma of your bully, is that they have some type of problem. They have an addiction. They may have a gambling addiction, or they're wasteful. They overspend. They buy way more than they need. They don't know how to moderate themselves. So someone has taken over and has locked them out of the stuff. And so maybe this is why they're so keen on seeing you suffer and all this, because they suffer. And also because when they were given resources, right, they were not creative with it. They didn't know how to manage it properly, and this is why it's being locked out from them. And so they're taking it out on you. Okay, they are taking their predicament out on you. Pile 4. Wow. Okay, we have abundance. Oh my gosh, cornucopia, abundance. A field full of wheat waiting, ready to be harvested. Losing sleep, worried, replaying events, thinking about you. So pile 4, the karma of your bully, your bully's karma is that they're going to be losing sleep over the fact that they don't have access to all the money. They don't have access to everything. Okay, and also they worry about the way they treated you. I feel like they may be getting punished too. Maybe the way they treated you was noticed, and they're being punished for the way they treated you. And because of the way they treated you, by being mean with you and rationing and keeping things away from you, someone has gotten like revenge and is keeping things away from them and rationing them and being harsh with them and saying, oh, okay, gotcha, you want to be like that with Power 4, right? Because you think they're going to waste the money. Well, what about you? Remember that time you went gambling and wasted thousands of dollars? Or when you went shopping and bought all that crap we didn't need and you wasted tons of money? Remember that? Well, I'm going to make sure that you're punished too, like you punished Power 4. Like, there's this vibe going on like that. So their worry and their I'm seeing worry, Nine of Swords in here as well. Their worry is twofold, okay? Worry that, oh my gosh, I don't have access to everything like I used to. And number two, oh my gosh, I treated Power 4 horribly and I'm suffering as a result. If I hadn't been so harsh with Power 4, maybe I'd still have access to all that stuff. Wow. Okay. Because cash again. Oh my gosh. The message is clear, Power 4. The message is clear. Their karma is that I feel like there's money that they don't have access to. It says you're a two-faced friend because they're unreliable. They're unreliable. One moment they're calm and they can be trusted and they're stable. Next moment they just want to go crazy with the money and start. It's a cash grab. They want to go off and spend thousands here, thousands there, and go nuts. And so this person has a moderation problem, believe it or not. I don't care who you think this person is. You may think they're a model of this or a model of that. It's all a front. Power 4. This is what is actually going on beneath the surface. Is that they might be bipolar, you know. They go through moments where they lack impulse control. And so therefore, you know, there's this cash has been hidden from them. That's their karma. Is they don't have access to the money like you think. They're treated like a kid. They're treated like someone who's got a problem. They're treated like someone who cannot be trusted. They're treated like a thief. They're treated like someone who's impulsive and is like a child. They cannot be trusted with large amounts of money. Wow. Okay. Next, we have demonic possession. Okay. Wow. See? Something just takes over them and they just start acting crazy. Okay. And could have been mortally wounded. Okay. So your bully's karma, Power 4, is that something's taken over them. I don't know what it is. I can't ignore these messages here. Something has taken over them. They may have some sort of mental struggle or mental imbalance. They may have like split personality or bipolar. They may be possessed like demonically. I don't know, man. I've got my evil eye, I got my candle. Let me get my spray. I've got some Archangel Gabriel Palo Santo smudge spray for clearing and protection over our space here. Yeah, so what I'm getting, Power 4, is that what I'm seeing is that this craziness that sort of takes over your bully, Power 4, this insanity that takes over their mind, all right, it just kind of comes over them. I'm getting like it's episodic. They'll just sort of act crazy and act out of sorts. It has hurt someone in their lives. It has hurt people in their lives. Someone has been like, oh my gosh, someone who knows you're a bully in an intimate setting. He's like, you almost killed me. You're nuts. You almost ended my life with whatever shenanigans you tried to pull. So I feel like someone has earmarked your bully as a red flag. Their problem. Your bully is being viewed as some type of mental head case who has caused danger to others. Okay, let's get more information about this. This is insane. I don't even know what to think of it. We got money again. Money hungry. What? Look, we got money, cornucopia. We got the 10 of Pentacles, money, the Queen of Pentacles. We got, money's coming up here again in the form of, a gambling addiction. A chest of money, someone going crazy near money. Someone's going crazy. And look, someone's going crazy with money right here. This is, oh my gosh, guys, these messages are super consistent. And I mean, this is why I do what I do. There is so much consistency in these cards. enjoy being, it is a privilege to be a channel, pile 4. It's a privilege because I feel that I'm doing real work here for you guys. And I really appreciate, thank you for the benefit. Thank you for the privilege of doing these readings for you and channeling these messages for you. It's my pleasure. This is what I was born to do. I really appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much for being here and bringing your energy to the spread. I hope that I'm providing the value. There is real accuracy and resonance in these cards. I shuffle these cards out at random, and it always blows my mind the amount of resonance that comes out. So we have money hungry. This person, your bully for, they got some kind of mental problem. When they see money, or when they get access to the money that is in that legacy I talked about, okay? They're never allowed to have access, by the way, because they've proven themselves unreliable. They got talked down to for how they messed up in the past, okay? And they have a lot of guilty conscience over it. But the bottom line is that they cannot, look, a two-faced friend. Look, the cat's going, you know, and then look, we got a crazy person with their face going crazy. We got this hungry, drooling, they're foaming at the mouth, foaming at the teeth. It's about money hungry. So they got some kind of problem. When money shows up, they go nuts. Pile 4. When they get access to maybe the clan's money or the money that belongs to the family, they go nuts. So it says here, meet the ultimate symbol of greed. So they're greedy. Your bully is greedy, a figure that not only hungers for wealth, but drains the energy of those around. You see, someone's like, oh my gosh, you almost killed me with how crazy you are. Wow. An energy vampire thriving on others' resources and vitality, leaving exhaustion and financial ruin in their path. This person, pile 4, for all the ways that they were cruel to you and withheld from you, they either have wasted the money substantially in the past, or will end up just, I feel like they're at risk of just burning through this fortune. There's a fortune at stake here. Maybe like that's the family fortune, or that's the fortune of the organization, or the fortune of the company, or something like this. They are hungry they're foaming at the teeth to get to this money. And they're just I feel like they stand a chance of ruining it for everyone. It's possible. But they're being held back, though. They're being held back. Someone's been whipping them up, you know, keeping them in line. He's made them small, talked down to them, made them feel small, made them feel less than, put them in their place, locked them out. They don't have the password. So I do think it's under control, but they still have this problem. Scarce mentality. Oh, so they have a scarcity mentality. It's nothing's ever enough. They have that cup is half empty mentality instead of the cup is half full. It's never enough. They see this cup and they're like, oh man, where's the rest of the water? Instead of, oh, there's a half a cup of water there. I'm really thirsty. I could really use that. You know, they're thinking, where's the rest of it? So they're never satisfied. They're never satisfied. Wow. Okay. So, oh, my bad. Oh, I see again. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, okay. I kind of made a bit of an error here. I need an additional tarot card here, and I somehow missed out on that. Let's get more information. What is pile 4's bullies? Negative karma for bullying pile 4. Right, so we have the devil. That makes total sense. So pile 4, I feel like this person is never going to be able to shake their addiction. They're an addict. Your bully, pile 4, is an addict. They're a first-rate, high-level addict, and they have burned through people. They've burned through resources. Something has got a hold over this person, pile 4. Something has got a major hold over this person. So we're going to kind of rearrange these cards a little bit. Yeah, so they've gambled away some of the wealth. They gambled away some of the wealth. I definitely got that from before. We got cash. We got losing sleep. Okay. Worried. Replaying events, thinking about you. I think that they're worried about the fact that they dwindled some of the cash away, the family fortune or the company fortune. And they're feeling like they dwindled some of this away. And they're worried because they got locked out of it. They got locked out because they were overspending. Okay. They went crazy. They went nuts. They overspent. They got greedy. Next, we're getting just rearranging it. Same messages. The messages are still here. Nothing's changed, but I kind of want to get the order correct for you guys. We have two-faced friend and demonic possession. Yeah, there's something. They have a mental health problem. They have a mental health problem. They may hide it from you or try to pretend like everything's okay, but it's not okay. Pile 4. It's not. I feel like they need help. They need to go to a therapist or psychiatrist. They need mental help. Okay? They need mental help. They need a psychiatrist, psychotherapist. They need to be on medication. They got some sort of major addiction going on. Major. Okay? They need some sort of exorcism or like a detox. Yikes. Oh my gosh. Next, and they may have some kind of traumatic, some kind of problem where they've been, they may have some type of problem. I don't know. Maybe trauma from the past that sort of takes a hold of them, makes them act some type of way. Could have been mortally wounded and money hungry. Yeah, they've almost hurt themselves over this issue. They've almost physically, they've almost died over this issue, is what I'm seeing. Okay. So next we have job loss. Oh my gosh. And scarcity mentality. So pile 4, this person, they're going to lose their money. They're going to lose a job. They're not going to be able to, if it's an issue of, well, they don't need a job. Well, they're going to end up needing one in the future. They're not going to be able to find one. And their resources are going to be depleted in the future. They're going to be actually literally broke in the future. And I'm not talking I feel like broke as in they're going to be locked out of being able to spend more of the fortune. I mean, locked out of it. And they're going to have to live like a poor person and live with, half of what they're used to getting. I feel like maybe they lost out because they formed an allegiance with some sort of toxic person or entity or belief system, or maybe the occult or cult. They may become part of a cult. That's coming through as well. I'm seeing a cult, and that's the occult right there. And it's made them go crazy. But I feel like the fallout of their affiliations is going to be that maybe they're going to be giving their money to this cult. That's another message I'm getting. That they're just throwing their money away and giving it to this cult. But it's not going to pay off. It's not going to pay off. Maybe they're hoping to get something out of it. They're going to be getting nothing out of it. The only thing they're going to get out of their affiliation with this cult or what it is that their approach with things is poverty. The inability to find another job, or they'll lose their job and not be able to get a new one, and they'll have to live under a very meager stipend or allotments or something. Wow. All right. And finally, we're getting loneliness. They're gonna be lonely. And karmic friends, can't fully trust them. Tension, secret competition. We got that competition here as well. You might say there's going to be competition in their lives. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So here's what I'm getting pile 4 is that what this is all going to boil down to is they're going to be pushing people away. No one's going to want to be around this energy. Okay. Because first of all, when they had the money, they were stingy with it. Okay. When it seemed like they had access, they're stingy with it. They overspent it. They went nuts. They maybe threw a lot of it at this occult group or some kind of cult-like affiliation or major addiction of some kind. They may have thrown away their money there, and it hurt someone in their lives, and they put their foot down and cut them off from the funds. And as a result, they're gonna have to go get a job. They're not going to be find one, or they will have a job and lose it, and they're going to be operating at half capacity. Half what they used to have is going to be their stipend. Like for instance, if they got, I don't know, $1,000 a month for living expenses or whatever. Let's say they don't have to pay rent. Let's say they don't have to do any of these major things. They don't have to pay car payment, but they get $1,000. They're going to have to be surviving with $500 every month, and they'll try to find a job to make up the difference and won't be able to. I feel like there's going to be some kind of consequential fallout from dealing with this toxic or sort of criminal group. I'm also getting with loneliness and karmic friends, they're going to have the kind of friends that these aren't good people. They're going to have the type of friends. bullies karma, pile 4, is that they're gonna have the type of friends that make them feel alone, make them feel like they don't actually have friends, because they're gonna have to watch their back. It says can't fully trust them. It's gonna be tension. They're gonna be competing. They'll only show up to see these friends when they'll go get their jewelry and make sure they look nice when they show up. They have friends that they have to put up a front with to show that they're doing well, but they won't be. So they're going to end up spending a lot of time by themselves because they don't want to be around these people so they can see how they're suffering, and don't really have as much money as they're trying to let on. But they're going to remain affiliated with these people, and it's going to make them feel even more lonely, even more isolated, because they're not with people. These are not genuine connections. These are just surfacey, toxic connections and affiliations. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 4, as far as your bully's karma. This is your bully's karma we're seeing here. Let me know if this made sense to you. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. If it resonated with your situation, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, okay? And let me know what you thought in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you. Take good care of yourself, okay? And I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye!